Surprise! I'm actually live streaming today in the morning because I'm off of work for a week. So, like I told y'all last night, I'm going to spoil you guys this week with a few more live streams. And I did not schedule this. So, if you didn't get notified, that's the reason why I didn't schedule the live stream. So, anyways, I want to talk about how as women, it can be very, very easy for you to feel some type of way because, like, you might have a breakup, you might have had to walk away from a toxic relationship, or maybe just the relationship wasn't going anywhere, right? And so you decide that you're like, okay, now I'm done. But the thing about it is that a lot of people are going to sit here, a lot of women are going to sit here and be like, no, but he's going to move on to somebody else. And, a lot of women will fear the relationship ending simply because you're afraid that he's going to move on to somebody else. And the thing about it is this. He is going to move on to somebody else, right? That's a guarantee. He is 100% going to move on to somebody else. But if he couldn't keep you, in most cases, he's not going to keep the next woman either. Okay. That's one thing that I always would tell myself to get me through breakups is to always remember that if he couldn't keep me, he ain't going to be able to keep nobody else. And if he is able to keep somebody else, I can guarantee you the woman is living in hell, okay, being with him. And so that would always give me a lot of like peace and a lot of clarity for me to feel better about the situation and to not have me feel as though I was missing out on being with that person simply because I was afraid that he was going to move on to somebody else, right? And so one thing also that I would always tell myself is that like the men are always going to come back, okay? Like there's not a single man who I ended things with, and at some point in time, they didn't return or try to return back into my life. At some point, a man is going to try to re-enter your life, which is the reason why you really shouldn't care if you don't have them in your life at some point. Y'all have a breakup or things end for some reason. Have no fear. He will be back, my dear. Okay. He will be back. I promise you, he will be back. And for me, my revenge is always leveling up in the time frame that that man is not in my life. And that's what I would always suggest to you ladies. In the time that you're not talking to him or dealing with him anymore, that's when it's time for you to level up. Okay, that's when it's time for you to stand on business and for you to get your fitness together, get your mindset together, stack up your money, stack up your education, improve yourself in some way. That's very important because when the man comes back, you don't want to be the same version of yourself as you were when you were last with him, right? You want to be leveled up because you don't by when you level up and the man comes back, you're going to look at that man in pure disgust. Okay, you are going to look at him like, ugh, why did I even like you in the first place? Like, honestly, like, you literally will look at these men like they just came out of a sewer. You will be so disgusted at the version of you, how you were and what you tolerated back then. And it's so crazy because then you'll pick up on a lot of their BS a lot easier. And you'll just understand that like he's just talking game. He's just bullshitting. He's just trying to, figure out a way to weasel himself back in. And another thing too is that you also cannot take it as a compliment whenever men try to enter back into your life. I know that that's what, some women will do. Oh, he must have missed this and he realized what he was missing out on and I knew he would come back. Okay, girl, that's not the reason why he came back. Okay. Men oftentimes don't really think like, oh, like, they'll obviously think about like, oh, they missed out on a good thing. That's why they have like the one that got away. Men are able to do that. But A lot of the reason why a man is deciding to come back is simply because he doesn't have any other options. Okay. He's screwed. Men are not going from woman to woman changing and becoming a better person. They're just changing their manipulation tactics. Okay. Always remember that. They're not changing to become a different person. Okay. The version of the man that the girl after you got, she is getting the same person with a different mask on. Okay, that's it. That's it. That's all. She getting the same exact person. He's just playing the game differently. That's it. That's all. It's really that simple. So when he comes back to you, he's played multiple people already. And just like how he played you, he's played everybody else. And he tried going back to those people and they kept the door closed. And so now he's been rejected by all the people in his past. And so now he's circling back onto you because nobody else wants his ass. Okay. Nobody else wants his ass. He doesn't have any pull out in the field. Okay. No, he's not getting any hits on the apps. He's not able to find anybody out in the wild. And so essentially he's having to go back to past women, past relationships to see if he can be able to open the door again to have access to somebody. Okay. Because men are desperate. Okay. Honestly, I think women give men way too much credit. Okay. I feel like a lot of women really believe men when they say that, oh, um, you know, he's dating all these women and he's going out with all these women. I can guarantee you, no, the fuck they're not. Okay. I'm telling you, no, the fuck they're not. A lot of the time, men are lying. Okay. They really don't got it like that. A lot of them, I promise you, they really don't got it like that. So a lot of women will give men a lot more credit than they really deserve, when in reality they have to cling on and cling on tightly to something that they've had in the past because they are not able to get access to anything new. That's the reason why, as a woman, it is your job to remove all attachments to people that like no longer serve you. um there is no need to, like, in my opinion, there is no need for me to keep an ex on social media or to be friends with exes, um unless there is some way that they could benefit me in a large capacity. That would be the only reason, but in most cases they're not going to, so that's like a very, very small chance that that would even be a reason. But that's the reason why, as a woman, you have to uphold the responsibility to cut off all attachments to somebody when things are done. A lot of men try to come back into your life because they're banking on the fact that you've believed that they've changed. That's where a lot of women go wrong. A lot of women believe that because time has passed, the man's behavior has changed. No. Okay. Most of the time, their behavior has not changed. You can send a super chat if, like, you 100% want a question to be asked. You could send a super chat, but I can't guarantee that I'm going to like read every question or like get to your question. I try my best. Um, but yeah, it's one of those things where it's like they're not changing. Okay. They're gonna say that when they come back too. Oh, I'm different. I realize what I missed out on. I realize that you're the girl for me. Like, men will even do this before they get married. Like, it'll be the day before their wedding and they'll reach out to you and be like, you're the woman that I should have married, or let's just say they have a baby on the way. You should have been the mother of my kids. I mean, honestly, like, they really will go that far and literally be that disrespectful just to see if they can have pull with somebody else outside of the person that they're married to or have a relationship with, or they share a child with. They will go as far as to reach out to somebody just to see if they can get their ego stroked or just to see if you actually still like them. So that's the reason why you have to be willing to close the door on men when, like, it's done, because in that, when things are done, you should be on a whole new trajectory of your life anyway, right? You should be able to go on ahead and just say, you know, I'm done. I'm not looking back. I'm going to, move on with my life, because men are never going to close the door. Okay. It's very, I feel as though it's very rare that men are going to straight up block you. Men are really only going to block you for one of two reasons. Um, something, some, one of two reasons. The first reason would be, okay, like you might have probably hit a nerve or pushed a limit so much that he feels as though he can no longer communicate with you. But there are also some men that will block you simply because they know that they don't have any restraint, and they know that they cannot have a line of communication open with you while they also entertain whoever it is that they're entertaining at the time. So some men will also block you because of that. But always remember, men are never really going to write a woman off from their past as it just being like done. You know what I mean? So never take it as like a compliment. Honestly, I get insulted when men try to come back into my life. I'm like, I kicked you out the first time. I tossed you out my life the first time. Why are you coming back? Why are you back here? You know? So I will actually be insulted when they think that they can try to come back into my life, because it's like, what sign was I giving that that was okay? Like what it was given you could come back into my life. It was given that I was stupid. Ugh. You know what I mean? But a lot of them, they don't care. They don't care, even if it makes them look stupid, even if it makes them look weak. They're willing to be that desperate to try to have access to you. Um Honestly, they are. They're very, they don't care. They're very, very desperate when they don't have access to a woman. So they don't care how far back they gotta go. They'll be 40 years old hitting somebody up from high school. They will. They'll swallow their pride to have access to a woman when they don't have access to one. That's one thing I can say. That ego and that pride goes right out the door once they don't have access to a woman. They will scrape and look in couch cushions like you would for coins. Child, they will be searching for a woman so hard, like they were searching for coins in a couch cushion when they're broke. That's how desperate they'll get when they don't have access to a woman. So please don't take it as a compliment. It's not. It really should be an insult more than anything. But it's very, very important for you to level up in the process when you're not dealing with anybody. Okay. You need to make sure that you are on a trajectory where you are improving yourself in some way, because you don't ever want to put yourself in a predicament where you're opening up the door for somebody that already proved you that they weren't shit the first time around. I can guarantee you, when someone already showed you once that they weren't shit, I guarantee you they already showed you once, and if you try to stick it out and give it another chance, they're going to show you again. Look at Nelly and Ashanti. Nelly and Ashanti is a perfect example of this. That's what you get when you decide that you are going to keep the door open for somebody to come back into your life. Okay. Nelly and Ashanti were together for a long time, and infidelity was involved. And I don't know 100%. People in the chat or in the comments can like clarify, because I'm sure there's somebody out there that knows way more than I do with the intel. Um, but infidelity was an issue, and she invested a lot of time and energy with him. And then they ended up, ending the relationship just for him to weasel his way back in and embarrass her. I mean, he's embarrassed her time after time again, the inauguration performance, the drug charges that he's had. He's also allegedly had multiple SA allegations, and then him obviously saying on their TV show that, like, that's not saying that that's not his child, but he pretty much said, that's not my child. Like, that's all you. Like, I'm not taking care of my child. He literally told her that. They have a show on Peacock, and I watched it all. And then also him pretty much expecting for her to sacrifice, like, instead of living in New York City, he wants her to uproot and come with him to St. Louis because that's where his family is. And you could tell that she's not happy. You can tell that she's not happy. And this is the reason why that you have to grow mentally when you're not dealing with somebody, because if you don't grow mentally and emotionally, time will pass. And the thing about it is that you don't want to allow familiarity. You don't ever want to allow familiarity to have a toxic person re-enter your life. Because I feel like even with Ashanti, and I feel like this is common for a lot of people, I've seen it with people that I've grown up with, they will cling on to the thing that's there just simply because they know it. And and they don't want to have to do the alternative, which is to just be single. And they damn for sure don't want to go back in the wild and try this process all over again with the new person. So what they'll do is, the person that's there and they know that person, they just say, up, you know what, you know, I'll make this work with what I got. You know what I mean? And essentially, you don't ever want to do that. You don't ever want to put yourself in a predicament where you're choosing out of familiarity when this person has already shown you that they weren't worthy to be in your life the first time, because people don't change. Okay. Very few people are actually going to change. And the thing about it is that change isn't like, it's a continuous process. You don't really arrive at change, because the thing about it is that you're constantly going through different life experiences. And so based off of every life experience that you have, that will give you a different outlook on something. And therefore, you get to choose how you are going to change from that experience that you have, and then so on and so forth with the future experiences that happen in your life. So the thing about it is that most people are going to react the same way as they would with all of these life changes going on. And you don't ever want to just keep somebody in your life or have them come back into your life just because you know them. Okay, that's one of the worst things that you can do. Be your best friend, be your love of your life, your own love of your life, until somebody comes in that actually can show you, and they consistently show you, and they're consistently choosing, and showing you that, like, they actually favor you, they value you, and they want to make sure that they can stay in your life, because that's the thing. A person should always be showing you through actions that they actually want to stay in your life. Okay. It should never be that a person has to convince you to overlook things so they can stay in your life. No, they should be showing you that they're worthy to stay in your life. All right. That's the most important thing. If a person is trying to convince you that they should stay in your life, that's how you know you're in a situation that's bad. Okay. No one should ever have to convince you that they're worthy of staying in your life. It should already be shown, and you should already have comfort in knowing that, okay, they're doing everything necessary. People that have to prove and try to convince you, oh, I'm worthy, or oh, I should be in my life, get away from them. Get away from them, get away from them. I'm telling you, even if they try to downplay it, because they'll guilt trip you, they'll gaslight you, they'll try to do all types of things to get you to feel bad and give them another chance. I've been watching Girlfriends. I probably am going to do more like pop culture analysis. I know you guys don't like the Love Island ones. That's the reason why, like, I haven't been too big on doing it, because I know everyone doesn't watch all of these shows. But the one Sex in the City analysis I did actually did pretty well on here. And I think I did one with Girlfriends, but I would like to do more pop culture analysis, simply because um I've been watching more TV. I've been watching more TV. So it's just been easier for me to, like, notice things when it comes to, like, friendship dynamics and dating dynamics with, heterosexual couples, where I feel as though it parallels really well with the channel. But I was watching I was watching Girlfriends this morning while I was getting ready. And when Ellis and Joan had met, Ellis had lied to Joan. And he lied to her because he was trying to make it seem as if he was super philosophical, when in reality, the philosophical things that he was saying it was actually from a script that he was memorizing for one of his movies, that of which the movie was actually like a ripoff of, like, a book, essentially. And so Joan actually called him out, and she was like, I don't want to get to know anything about you, because I've already gotten to know you, and you're a liar. Like, And he's like, oh, but you're an attorney and I'm like a D-list actor and I had to impress you. And if you watch Girlfriends, you've seen how that situation turned out between Ellis and Joan. But that's essentially what it looks like when you let someone try to come back into your life simply because they want to constantly convince you that there's more layers to them or that they might have changed. Like I said before, a person that's trying to convince you is trying to sell you bullshit. Okay? Always remember that. A person that is trying to convince you is trying to sell you bullshit. Okay? You ever had somebody, I'm sure y'all been to, the hood. You've been in the hood, you're going to like the beauty supply store, or maybe you're going to your favorite like mom and pop place, you want to get some food or whatever, and somebody will be outside of there, be like, hey man, I'm selling tickets, I'm selling, whatever. And you're like, okay, aren't those like rip off tickets or something? No, man. And they try to start explaining to you like what it really is to try to convince you that it's actually legit and that it's actually valid. You already know they're full of shit once they start trying to dig deeper and explain to you. It takes no explanation in the world for someone to explain to you that they're selling you fucking tickets. Okay. Tickets are tickets are tickets. If it sounds wrong, if it don't sound right, and people and you're calling it out and they're trying to convince you otherwise, they don't have anything or any good intention for you. And that's what a lot of men do. That's what a lot of men do. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I have an ex that wanted to cheat on his wife with me. I told him to work it out with his wife. Boy, bye. Exactly. Exactly. Or you better pay somebody. I tell these men all the time. I always say when they're trying to cheat, I'm like, you're going to have to pay. You're going to have to pay. And I just make the price so high that they're like, no, I don't want to do that. It's fine. Don't even worry about it. Just start making them pay a nominal fee to cheat and then give it back to the wife. Girl, I don't raise you money to get your divorce, girl. Here you go. Thank me later. Here's all the money back. Now you can get this divorce, girl. You got financial freedom. Funnel the money right back to the wife. Exactly. Exactly. It's so crazy that this topic came up. A wealthy man who I used to talk to last year but never slept with actually reached out to me Saturday and kind of wants to pick things up. Well, girl, he's wealthy, so you already know if he's trying to pick things up, he better make sure that he's picking up some money and giving it to you if he's trying to pick things up. Ooh, not him coming back asking when he could sleep with you again. Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. All right, I had to get that person out of there. You can't spam the chat. Sorry. Y'all can't spam the chat like that. Yeah, you can't take an ex back. And the other thing too is that if you broke up with the guy, if you were the one to end the relationship and they try to come back into your life, that's another thing too. There are some men out here that was another episode actually. That was on Girlfriends. Remember Joan and Greg? Remember when, or no, Tony and Greg? Joan spilled the tea to Greg that Tony actually had like I think cheated or that she was going to get married to Clay. Was it Clay? I can't remember. I think it was Clay. And Greg ended up dumping Tony. And then Greg came back into Tony's life, and he came back into her life trying to make it seem as if they could reconcile. And then he pretty much planned it so that when Tony walked in, she saw Greg sleeping with somebody else. He was sleeping with somebody else. So he literally just came back into her life just to get revenge. That's another reason why you don't let them come back in either, unless they invest into something, unless they pay you something. But he did that simply just to get revenge. He did that simply just to hurt her. There are a lot of men, if you are the one to end it, they will come back into your life just to hurt you, just to get revenge, just to, just to try to hurt you like you hurt them. Yes, ma'am. Figuring out how much I want to charge. Any ideas, ladies? It needs to be something where it needs to be so high. First of all, this will only work if you actually, y'all, if you already dealt with the man, so you know how much the man is making. Okay. Um, you already know that you cannot ask. I don't know. I'm trying to think. You already know that you can't ask the bus driver, to give you $2,000 in order for him to come back into your life. You ain't gonna be able to ask the bus driver for that. Maybe 500, maybe 500 to 600, because that would be enough for him to be like, he could give you $500. Honestly, he could come up with $500 to give you, but it's not so low where it would be very easy, like $100. Now that's definitely not enough. $100 in most cases is pretty easy to cough up, in my opinion. You can find $100. That's too easy. You want to make it to be a good enough investment where they're going to have to consciously make an effort to get the money to give to you, but not so high that it's unobtainable, but also not so low that it's easy. But you have to do it it's on an individual basis. It's a man from your past. Y'all should be able to figure out how much he make, what his financial standing is, how responsible he is with his finances. I am pretty. It's been a year and a half. We would speak sometime in passing. Been 2 years since the guy before him. Both never tried to come back. Why? They might be dealing with a pygmesia, that's doing everything for them and that's making them feel like they're the prize. Maybe they don't have enough money to date anybody or to come back to anybody. Maybe they gay. You can't rule that one out. Not in this day and age. Not in this day and age. I never rule out them being gay or DL as to why they might have not come back. But that's another thing too. You have to learn to not take it personal. You do. You have to learn how to not take it personal if a man chooses to not come back. Because guess what? That's just one less thing for you to have to figure out. That's one less person that has decided that, you want to know what? I'm not going to try to come back. Because has every single ex of mine tried to come back? No. No. Not every single person has not tried to come back. But my thing about it is this: if you already left, if it's already done, there ain't no need for you to come back anyway. In most cases, they're only coming back to waste your time. You know what I mean? But don't take it personal. Mm-hmm. But at some point they will come back. I mean, somebody said that a man, it was 20 years. It was 20 years before he came back. So it's different for everybody. Shit, they may not come back until they're on their deathbed. They're like, oh man, I'm dying. I need a nurse and a purse. I need somebody to take care of me. They go into their contacts list and they start sending everybody the same text message over and over again. Hey, how are you? Hey, how are you? Long time no talk. Hey, you. They gonna be on their deathbed sending 50 girls the same text message, hoping that at least one of them will feel pity on him so he don't got to die alone. Exactly. There are a lot of men who are very, very that will get embarrassed. I had an ex like that. That's the reason why he never reached back out to me, because financially he knew that he was inadequate. financially, he knew that he could not live up to my standards, and he was very self-aware of this, which I actually appreciate. But I really appreciated that about him. At the time, it really wasn't the best thing to hear. It wasn't the best thing to accept at the time. But in hindsight, I actually really do respect his self-awareness to straight up tell me, like, hey, I can't be in this relationship because I'm not where I need to be at financially to, give you the things that I feel as though you would want and give you the things that I feel as though you deserve. And so he never reached back out to me because hell, in most cases, he probably never became financially together like, he felt like I would require. He felt like I would need. So and that's how it should be. I don't want somebody coming back into my life and they still can't do anything for me. If you left and you still can't do anything for me, why are you trying to come back knowing that you still can't do anything for me? You're wasting our time. You're wasting both of our time. Come back when you know you actually can do something for me and provide for me. You know what I'm saying? Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, and I work in healthcare. I do ultrasound, so I'm well aware. These men, when they're getting sick and they're getting old and they're dying, oh, they'll go all the way to elementary school. They'll go all the way to elementary school just to cling on to somebody. I even have it in my community tab. That's about it. If you go in the community tab, I don't know, maybe some odd 2, 3 weeks ago, I put it in the community tab. My own mom, somebody from high school, one of her high school prom dates, messaged her on Facebook talking about, oh, I'm saved and the Lord and yada yada yada. And I was a child back then in high school and I didn't realize what I had. Even all the Sovereign sisters was in the comments like, he done got some cancer diagnosis or something. That's the only reason why he's reaching out. Something is just going on with his health. But if you go on the community tab, y'all will see it. Y'all will see it. And to all the people that said I look nice, thank you. I finally put on some makeup. I got my second day hair going on. I had a dental cleaning this morning. So I said, well, you want to know what? I'll look cute because I ain't put no makeup on in like a week. And by the time I do a live stream on here, I usually take my makeup off and like wash off everything because I do the live streams kind of late and I don't want to put on makeup again, before I do the live stream. I honestly just don't. So in the morning, it's easy because I could just wear the makeup all day. But thank you. Had to get me a dental cleaning, which was nice. I went from being afraid of the dentist to like actually looking forward to going now that I got my teeth to get now that I got my teeth together. Yeah, it was a lot better this time. I didn't need any numbing. I didn't need any numbing, and they said that like I'm doing like a good job with like everything with like my teeth and like the gum recession, the gum grafting procedure went really well. I just have to get cleanings like every 3 months because like I have a permanent retainer top and bottom and I cannot take out the permanent retainer because my teeth are very my teeth are not the most stable for whatever reason. That's another reason why I'm like, I'm not having no fucking kids. My teeth are already unstable. And you mean I would have a child and I would lose calcium to grow a whole human and my teeth fucking fall out? Oh, hell no. Mm-mm. So my teeth are already kind of like, they were already like a little bit unstable, especially the bottom teeth, because I had an injury to these teeth back when I was a teenager. So the permanent retainer is just that. It's literally permanent. And so I can build a lot of plaque around that area. I can build it very easily. So I have to get cleanings like every 3 months. He wants me to get cleanings every 3 months just to make sure that everything stays super clean. So that way I don't have like my gum recede again. And then he said that like after 9 months post-op, he said we'll go in and we'll see if we can do a second gum graft over the tooth that was really receded because like My one tooth, it was receded as it could possibly be receded. Like it was all the way down here. It was really, really, really bad. So it covered up one tooth that has started to recede. That tooth is 100% fine. But I would say with the other tooth that was really receded, I would say I probably have about it's probably about like a 60% improvement. So he wants to see if in about 9 months we can go back in with another gum graft. Yeah, naturally you're going to have more dental issues after children because you're losing calcium while you're pregnant. If you're a woman that already has dental issues before children, you're going to be in for a rude awakening with your teeth if you decide to have children. This is why it's very good to know these things about your body before you decide to have children. I never heard of bruxism, but they've never told me that. The issue is that I had an injury back when I was a teenager when I got hit in the mouth with a softball because it picked up a ground rock. It pushed my bottom teeth back, and I had braces at the time too, and thankfully it didn't uproot my teeth, but it did make them unstable. And so the orthodontist had already told me that like I would have like some stability issues, and so the gum recession kind of stemmed from that. But they're gonna refer me to like an orthodontist and a dentist to see if they can like add like some cement in order for me to have the tooth more stable. Because I do wear a night guard at night to kind of help with the stability, but most of most of the recession came from that injury that happened in high school. It just happened very slowly over time. Like the recession didn't start until I don't think I noticed the recession until I maybe was about 25, 26. Lord knows when it actually started, but I know that I didn't really notice it until I was about 25, 26. And after I went to dentists that I felt like didn't know what the fuck they were doing, like I went to one dentist, he was like, "You need a flipper." I'm like, "No, the fuck I don't need a flipper. What are we in the fucking 1800s? Like you're going to give me wooden teeth too? You're going to give me wooden teeth?" He's like, "You need a flipper." I'm like, "I'm not fucking getting a flipper. We're in the fucking 2000s. What are you talking about?" So then I went to a different dentist, and when they did my dental cleaning, it was a fucking nightmare. It was an absolute nightmare. It was horrible. So that deterred me from even wanting to go back to the dentist in the first place because it was torture. So then my recession got to a point where I was like, "Bitch, you have to do something." Okay. Like, I'm a content creator, I'm a certified professional yapper. I need my oral care I need my oral care together. And ironically, it was actually in my birth chart for the month of June for me to get dental work, where the planetary alignments were. It was kind of crazy, but I had no idea. But one of the astrologers that I follow, when she was like doing the readings for the month or whatever, with how the planetary alignment was, she was like, because I'm a Taurus rising in Vedic astrology, and whatever planetary alignment it was in or whatever, she's like Taurus rising. She's like, you might be getting some dental work done. I'm like, bitch, I am getting dental work done. What the fuck? It was May. It was the month of May because I got the procedure done in June. I was like, what? Not me being on point with the alignment. So I would use xylitol. So the thing about it was that I actually was using a lot of things to slow down the recession. That's the reason why I didn't really rush to get it done. So I would use xylitol, I would do oil pulling, and then I would drink spring water to help with like the mineralization to kind of make sure that everything would be in place. And that really, really, really slowed it down. Carrie Bradshaw was on a show last night and she mentioned having to wear a flipper when she was younger. Her canines didn't come in. I went to high school with a girl that wore a flipper, and like that's what she would tell everybody. She'd be like, "I have fake teeth," and she would just pop the flipper out. So whenever the dentist was like, "I have a flipper," I would think about that girl in high school who would pop her tooth out. And I'm like, "Oh, hell no." Oh, hell no. I'm hollering. She said Carrie Bradshaw. And I went along with it, not even questioning that it's Sarah Jessica Parker. One time I told a guy, told me that he was going to leave me on the side of the road. Oh, he told you that he was going to leave you on the side of the road. You told him your dad would beat his ass and he never reached out again, girl. Queen Washington. Exactly. I was like, you're going to have me do a flipper? I gotta have it done too. It could not be more painful than childbirth. I'm calling myself. Honestly, the gum graft, looking back, the gum graft wasn't that bad. Honestly, it really wasn't that bad. It's just a little bit sore. And the thing about it was that I had a lot to cover with my recession. So he couldn't take gum tissue from my jaws. He had to take gum tissue from the roof of my mouth. So, because I needed something a little bit more heavy duty to cover what I had. But honestly, the worst part of getting the gum graft was just the fact I couldn't eat anything crunchy for 2 weeks. That was the worst part. That's what I got sick of because I like having something crunchy. I don't want to eat soft food, for 2 weeks. That was the most annoying thing. I couldn't have anything crunchy. But as far as the pain, honestly, the pain will go away. Like the pain went away in probably like 2 or 3 days. It was just kind of like not pain, just more so like discomfort. You know what I mean? Because your gums are sore. Thank you. I love this blue. I really do. This is one of my favorite colors to wear. It's definitely a complimentary color. Right. Plus trying to keep it clean. Exactly. I already have enough in my mouth to have to try to keep clean. It's too much. It's too much. Those grafts were no joke. The healing process seemed like a nightmare. It was scary when I came back, though. It was scary when I came home from the procedure because I wouldn't fucking stop bleeding. And they make you fill up your mouth with gauze on like the surgical site. And so that was kind of scary because I was like, fuck, like I can't stop. I won't stop bleeding. And then another thing, too, I hated taking that goddamn doxycycline. Hated taking doxycycline. I hate doxycycline so much, but they want to make sure that you don't get any infection. And they made me take the doxycycline for so long. Like, I think they made me take it for like 12 days. And that doxycycline is really hard on my stomach. So I had to make sure that I really could only take it at night or in the midday after I had eaten enough. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they did it right like on the corners and the roof of my mouth. So that part was like real sensitive. And then my chin was all protruded from the gums at first. I was like, oh. But this is another reason why if a man come back in your life, be like, when was your last dental cleaning, sir? If a man try to come back in your life, get a little pin light and have him go, look at all them teeth if he try to come back in your life. Because if you dealt with him 10 years ago, he probably done developed halitosis and periodontal disease. And, he probably coming back with all types of stuff after he done been out in the streets for so long. So make sure, make sure you got access to his dental records and his trip to the vet. Make sure he got his shots. Yeah, dental implants the best way to go. I unfortunately cannot get a dental implant. I unfortunately cannot get a dental implant, at least not where that really poorly receded gum is, because I don't have any bone on that gum. See why I'm not going to have children? I lost bone on that. I lost bone on that tooth that has receded so poorly. So if things were to not go well with like the gum and like my shit started to recede again, I'd have to get a bridge because I don't have any bone to put a dental implant in. So that's why he wants to make sure that like I get cleanings every 3 months. Like I'm really on top of like my cleaning. And then depending on how that goes, we go back in with another gum graft because I don't have any bone on that tooth. Do you still do the coconut oil mouth rinse after the surgery? I don't, and the reason why I don't is because they gave me there's this gel that they have me like put on my gums or whatever that's like they have me have a kit. So I have a kit of like a toothpaste, a mouthwash, and then like this like gel that I put on my gums. And all of that is like it's antibacterial, fluoride free, and like it's got a ton of like minerals and nutrients and stuff like that. It's like all holistic. So I've just been using that because that's what they recommended me to use at the dentist. Minerals, like if you're having gum issues, you can really help alleviate your gum issues with your diet and then making sure that you're getting enough minerals because your teeth are made out of calcium. Calcium is a mineral. Yeah, it's not Perio Protect. It's crap. What is it called? It's white with like blue writing on it. It's white with blue writing on it. I can't remember because they all start with Perio. Oh, really? Bone grafting? Huh. I would have to ask. I would have to ask, but he only said that in like the worst case scenario. He only said that I would need that at the absolute worst case scenario if like my body didn't take well with no, it's not Sensodyne. It's not something obvious. Okay. It's not something obvious. They only have it at the dental office. And like it's like a very, very particular thing. I'm early because I'm off of work for a week. So I had to be up early because I had to get my teeth together. Why do some men have such a hard time going to the dentist? As soon as I see an issue, I run, I don't walk. The reason why men have such a hard time going to the dentist is because too many of y'all be loving them while they don't go to the dentist. The motivation for a male is a woman. Always remember that. The motivation for a male is a woman. So women set the standard of how men are going to treat themselves. So if women are out here loving men when they have plaque and they have tartar and they got smegma in their turtleneck, if you know what I'm talking about, and you still choose to love him, he's like, okay, somebody loved me and I don't have to do anything about it. So what would be the point? What would be the point of me changing anything? Because men don't do anything for themselves. That's the reason why men are always thinking that we do something. That's the reason why men always think that we're doing everything for them. Because everything that men think about women is simply a projection of what they're thinking themselves. So this is the reason why men are always thinking, you're doing that for male validation, because men do not live lives where they are thinking of doing something for their own betterment, for their own self-esteem, and for their own confidence. They're simply doing it. Men are transactional with themselves. Okay, men are not only transactional with other people, they're transactional with themselves. A lot of these men that are high earners, they're not becoming a medical doctor because they care about taking care of people. Okay. A lot of them really don't. They're becoming a medical doctor because they understand that, okay, I'll be able to earn more money and it will increase my chances of finding a woman. This is why a lot of men that end up going to school and they actually end up having like a high earning career, they get very frustrated when they can't get women because the whole reason why they got an education, it was just transactional. It was just transactional. It was, okay, if I do this, I'll get this in return, not because they actually wanted to do it for themselves. So when you accept them for who they are, I'm sorry, as women, you need to stop accepting men for who they are. I'm sorry. Stop accepting them for who the fuck they are, because they're not going to accept you for who you are. They're not going to accept you for who you are. Okay, they want you to look 25 forever. They want you to look like you never had a baby before. They are not going to accept you for who you are. They're going to accept you in how they want you to look and how they want you to act. And that's the same energy that you need to be giving them. That whole mindset that women have of, oh, I'll love you through anything. The thing about it is that that's what men complain about. Oh, well, If enough women start doing it, the men will get their act together. But y'all let men gaslight you and shame you and guilt you into thinking that you're cold and heartless because you actually have standards and expectations. No. Mm-mm. Nope. The same standards that a person will want for you are the same exact standards that you should put on to that other person. It's that simple. Yeah, exactly. And money is not enough. Exactly. Money is not enough for women who are high earners. You got to be the full package. Eyeliner makeup tutorial. Oh, thank you. I really wish my ex would get a nose job. Sorry, not sorry. Teach him how to contour. Say, I'm gonna teach you how to contour your nose. Could you imagine? Like, hey, you want this little $5 nose job? Or schedule him a consultation. Schedule him a consultation for a nose job. Maybe I'll do a tutorial on my makeup. Maybe. I did my makeup this morning on TikTok. I didn't do it as a tutorial, but I just did it. I just did it. Yeah, and so many people are getting rhinoplasties and everyone's getting those hee noses. Like the surgeons are specializing in the hee noses. Like they have like these small upturned noses. Like it's like that's crazy. Those noses look terrible. Like I don't want my nose to look like this. Like that's insane. Mm-mm. That is insane. How he wanted your hair and makeup and weight. See? See? He wants to be a baddie. They all do. I gotta find the video. I'll make a piece of content about the video today about how this guy said that men are actually jealous of the fact that women can like dress up and be pretty and stuff like that. How do you do your makeup and stream? I would end up with an eyeliner pen in my eyeball. Honestly, the same way that you normally would do makeup alone. You just gotta I have like a vanity mirror or whatever, and it lights up and then it has like multiple magnification mirrors. So the magnification mirror, I can see it without having to, be all up in the camera and whatnot. She said, I'm missing the live because these fucking customers keep calling my phone at work. Not them making you work while you at work, girl. That's what I say. I say, they're making me work while I'm at work. How dare they? They got me working while I'm at work. Yeah, I'm telling you, nothing but headaches. Like, nope, you're not going to siphon and steal my beauty. No, sir. Stay away. So actually this top is a part of a set. It's actually a part of a set, but I didn't wear both parts of the set because this is actually a Love Island outfit. Like not really Love Island, but it's like Love Island-esque type of outfit. So it's actually like a bodysuit. Let me show y'all. So it's actually a bodysuit. It's actually a bodysuit and it's like open in the back. It's open in the back, but the bottom is actually a skirt. So there's this like little bodysuit, and then there's actually a skirt that's got a slit in it. You. Yup. So yeah, I got this from Zara, but it's a part of a two-piece set. But I didn't want to wear that skirt. I'm like, that skirt is doing a little bit too much just for me to go to the dentist. I was like, no, it's fine. I'll just wear some shorts. Kind of dumb it down a little bit, water it down a little bit. These men, I'm telling you, the estrogen in the chicken wings, in the Hennessy, that Mary Jane got them all feminine. They want to be bad bitches. They want to be bad beaches. 3 babies in 2 years, 2.5 years. That woman literally gave birth, rolled over, and got pregnant. She had a baby out and a PP in. 3 babies in 2.5 years. She literally had a baby out and had a PP in immediately because that's crazy. That's crazy. What's your best advice to us older ladies who want men to take us out on dates but not interested in long-term relationship? Date multiple men that will take you out and don't even care about if they're interested in a long-term relationship. Because the thing about it is that when you're older, in most cases, you're going to be dealing with men that are around the same age as you. As men get older, they want to they want to deal with somebody with the idea that they'll have somebody take care of them. Unless you want to take care of a man as he's getting older, there is no need for a long-term relationship. No way. That's exactly. There's no need for a long-term relationship. So actually, just say that they're just do the opposite. Say that you want the opposite, but you could date multiple people. You could date multiple people. That's super easy. Just keep dating multiple people. What clothing colors are your magic colors? I really wouldn't say that I even have any, honestly. I really wouldn't say that I have any, but the blue always hits. The blue always hits. But yeah, it ain't no need for no long-term relationship anyway. So to me, I feel like that's easy. That's easy because the only way that they would want a long-term relationship is if they want somebody to take care of them. So just date multiple people. And they'll want you even more if they do want a long-term relationship and you don't want one. When are we gonna make this official? Henry, I told you that I have to think about it. Just be stalling. Henry is an older gentleman's name. But I really like you. But I like you too. But I mean, chicken does have a lot of hormones in it. Honestly, chicken does have a lot of hormones in it, but shit, everything does, honestly, at this point. You're getting it in some way, unless you're over here raising, your own like chickens or whatever. I mean, hell, they farm salmon. They be farming salmon. I love red meat too. The only reason though why I haven't really been eating a lot of red meat and I've been eating like a little bit more seafood and more chicken is because I've been a bit more active and I've increased my carbs a little bit. And so because I've increased my carbs, I've had to reduce my fat because I've been eating more of the energy source from how active I've been with like working out and pole dancing and stuff like that. So I've had to kind of like make adjustments. And the only thing about fat is it's very calorie dense. It's actually very easy to overeat. Very easy to overeat when you're eating fat because it's so calorie dense. I've known my ex for over 20 years and we're cool. He had a couple long-term girlfriends since we broke up 10 years ago. For some of them can be, some of them can be okay, but if they have a collapse in options, they're gonna want to try to date you at some point again. It really is dependent on if their whole clientele runs dry. That's what I call it. What do you think of verbally abusive men and the women that are with him? And I always give the benefit of the doubt, and he still voicemail me when I block him. Um, Honestly, how does he still voicemail you when you block him? Is he like calling like a different number or something? But men that are verbally abusive, I get the fuck away from them. That's like changing your number territory. I feel as though that's when it's time for you to change the number. I don't honestly, you cannot tolerate someone raising their voice at you. You cannot tolerate somebody calling you out of your name. You can't tolerate, somebody being disrespectful to you cuz the thing about it is that usually especially if things get physical, a lot of the time things don't become physical like that. They verbally start and mentally start to weaken you, and then it goes on to physical. So, anyone that would be verbally talking to you recklessly, you don't want to stay in a situation like that because, in most cases, that's just the start of the mistreatment in order to weaken you so that way you can feel more comfortable staying once things get physical. So, yeah, that's definitely the type of person that you're going to have to create a whole new identity regarding that person. You got to get a new phone, you got to change your name on social media like, oh wow, I didn't know that they could leave voicemails when you have them blocked. So yeah, you got to change your number, girl. And that's another thing too. You can't give somebody benefit of the doubt. You can't. Yeah, that's another thing too. Road rage. I did the same exact thing with a guy that I went out on a date with. Same exact thing. I let him drive me around on our first date, and I saw that he had road rage, and it was over something very, very minuscule, something very, very small. I couldn't wait for that date to end. Couldn't wait for that date to end. And I never talked to him again after that. I was like, if you are having this much of a reaction and impulse while driving, I don't want to see how comfortable you become once you spend enough time with me for me to see how you are really acting. Because the thing about it is that most people are cognizant of, the fact that they may have to like mask a little bit before they can really show who they really are. So they will kind of wait a little bit. But the people that just show you outright, they don't even hide the fact that they got something. Oh yeah, they'll go to great lengths. And the guy was actually he actually had a unsuccessful unaliving attempt too. I was like, oh yeah. I was like, and that's why I tell y'all don't deal with nobody in the military. Like the reason why I tell y'all that is simply because of experience. He was in the military, he had a failed unaliving attempt. I was like, oh hell no. And I think the thing about it is that you think it because the thing about it was that he hadn't been in the military for a long time. Like he was a vet. And I think it's very easy for us as women to think that time passes. That's why I'm talking about this because like time passing is just that. It's just time passing. Time does not heal. Okay. That I don't agree with that statement at all. Time heals everything. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. The amount of effort that you put in into addressing the problem and facing the problem, that is what's going to heal you. Time is not going to heal you. Mhm. Yep. Yeah, I'm telling you from experience. Because the thing about me is that I tend to attract men that are in the military primarily because I have muscle, I'm athletic, I tend to there's like a level of strength that I have and I'm a bit more assertive. And so a lot of men that are like in the military and things like that, a lot of them see that as a challenge. They do, they see that as a challenge. And so I had to kind of understand, I kind of had to understand like what type of people they were. You know what I'm saying? What type of people they were internally for them to like cling on to me. That's another thing too. I think women, you have to not take it so personal, the type of men that you attract. Stop taking it personal. Now, if you're attracting nothing but dusties, I probably would take that personal because I like that's the thing. I attracted men in the military, but I ain't attract no dusty military man. Okay. Like I want to make that very clear. If you're attracting dusties, all right, you might want to do a little bit of self-reflection. But I would never sit here and be like, oh, something's wrong with me because I'm attracting military men. Of course not. Like, exactly like I'm disciplined. I'm more muscular than like, just like the average woman. I have a little bit more muscle, very disciplined, bodybuilding background, very regimented. That's on par with like what men that were in the military, like what they're familiar with. But I don't take that personal. That I know that that's not a reflection of myself, and that's the thing because women will be like, "These men are so lustful, and I'm so tired of men. I'm so tired of being lusted after." And it's like the day that you decide that you don't want to be lusted after as a woman is the day that you'll decide to be a lesbian. Honestly, the day that you decide that you're gonna date and you no longer want to be lusted over, that's the day you'll become a lesbian because men are lustful. Okay? Prostitution is the oldest profession. Look at all the strip clubs, OnlyFans, corn websites. And you're over here looking for a man that's not lustful. If a man is not lustful, baby, he's gay. I would be more concerned if he wasn't lustful. If I could be completely honest, not saying that that would lessen the fact that it doesn't feel good to be objectified. I'm obviously not saying that because no one wants to be objectified, but you can't take that personal that men are lustful. That's who they are. That is who the fuck they are. It's like, girl, haven't you looked around at all of the schmecks that they're taking in on a daily basis? And you're asking for them to not be lustful? Mm-mm. If I'm telling you, if a man is not lustful, I'm like, you're gay. You're gay. I'm disciplined. They'll try to come up with every excuse. I'm just sexually disciplined. I'm like, okay, either you're gay or you have an incurable STD. Those are the only two things that I could think of as to why you wouldn't want to be lustful and wouldn't want to be all over somebody. You're gay or you have something going on or you got a shrimp or you got something that ain't working. Those are the four things. Gay, you have an incurable disease, the junk is small, the junk's not working. Those are the only really things that I could think of as to why a man would not be lustful. Yeah, exactly. Tattoos too. Tattoos automatically are going to attract men who are going to be more machismo, men who are going to be very, very like, they're going to try to embody being very masculine because they see that you have tattoos. She said I'm bi partial, men hate it. I attract the guys that most likely was in special ed or had IEPs in grade school. I think because I give that yep sped teacher assistant aura, it might be neurodivergent to some degree. I haven't got it tested for it, but I definitely know I'm neurodivergent, especially when I look back when I was younger before I started masking. I'm definitely neurodivergent ADHD. I don't even need a test or a therapist for somebody to tell me that. Mhm. Yep. I'm like, I can't stand it when they would say that. I'm just disciplined. I'm like, no, you're gay. You're gay. How do you deal with lustful men when you're needing guidance or like a strong male figure? I find that they're always attracted to me, my own dad included, instead, and it's really frustrating. You don't need a male figure, honestly. Um, honestly, that's just okay. A lot of people, like society, will tell you that you need a male figure. Okay. No, you don't. You don't need a male figure. Really, you need a strong female figure, is what you need. More women, they're never going to teach women to have more dark feminine traits or more masculine traits because once a woman can possess feminine and masculine traits, that cancels out the male. That's the reason why they consider femininity to be very small and meek, docile, weaker in compared to the male. As a woman, you're able to embody both masculine and feminine. Everybody technically can embody both, but you don't need a strong male figure. You need to learn more dark feminine things. That's the thing. You need to learn more dark feminine tactics. That's what you need. Because most these male figures, a lot of these male figures are just grooming women to be prey to other men. If I can be completely honest, these male figures, father figures, I'm telling you, most of it is just grooming young girls to be prey to other men. Because I can't tell you how many women grew up with their dad, and their dad didn't tell them anything about male nature, how men actually think about women. That's not a male figure. That's not a male figure. That's not protective. They rather have you be fed to the wolves because they want to protect their ego and their pride. That's not a male figure. So honestly, don't. And the thing about it is that they've purposely created this so that way they can have more access to women. You need a male figure. You need a male figure. No, they just are telling you that because they want to be put in a predicament where they can sleep with you under the guise of being your male figure. Like I was literally watching Legally Blonde. Legally Blonde is one of my favorite movies. Okay. I love Legally Blonde. It really is like my top favorite movie. And when Elle had got the internship, for her to practice being a lawyer or whatever, her mentor had like made a move on her. So essentially, he allowed her to do the internship under the guise of him being her mentor when really he just wanted to sleep with her. So you have to be very careful of any men that want to try to be this fatherly role, men that want to try to take on this father figure, this role model. A lot of these women or a lot of these men really is just predatory. A lot of it is really just predatory. Yep. Could you do a video on spiritual reasons why daughters have a pick me mother? That's actually a good idea. It is. That's actually a good idea. I probably will do that next because I haven't posted on the spiritual channel in a while. I'd like to do what you do, whatever this is, influencer, YouTuber. Do you have any advice? Um, you need to figure out like what your niche is going to be. It needs to be something that like you're passionate talking about. It needs to be something that you want to gain more education in. Um, as you're creating content, because obviously you want to come up with more content to give. Um, yeah, and you just kind of have to understand like psychology. You have to understand, I'm telling you, psychology and sociology, like this is the reason why, in my humble opinion, this is the reason why like a lot of men will discredit women that go to college for things like communications, sociology, psychology. The reason why men demonize those things and kind of say that like you're wasting a degree when you do that, and also another reason why you can't really use those, it's very hard to use those jobs unless you get like a master's or a doctorate in those type of fields. The reason why is because it exposes human nature, which and then will protect you from having things happen to you. Like I loved psychology and sociology. That's the reason why like I'm able to pick up on things a lot quicker, because when you actually pay attention to people, people are very predictable. People are very, very predictable. Like I take care of patients all day. I know that patients are going to make the same joke. Am I having a boy or a girl? I kind of sounded like the president when I said that. Am I going to have a boy or a girl? They'll joke about that, and then they'll always ask me, "Is this what you do all day? Is this what you do all day?" And I already know that they're asking it for like one of several reasons. They're asking because they're projecting the fact that they couldn't do my job. Or number two, they're trying to just make small talk because they're nervous about the exam that I'm doing. It's a few reasons, but even with me being in healthcare, it's like I already know they're gonna say the same joke. They're gonna ask me the same fucking questions. It's like clockwork. It's like clockwork. Can you do more content on confidence and being self-validated? Of course. Yes, that's the reason why I loved Legally Blonde so much, because she started off the movie with the intention being very male-centered, and she went to law school just simply to get him back, and then she simply used that to alchemize, and in the end, she was like, "Fuck you. I don't want you. I don't fucking want you." Like, Legally Blonde is hands down my favorite movie. My favorite movie. I'm like, I really did sound like the president. I was like, "Wait a minute." I was like, "I really do sound like him. I really do sound like him." Yeah, and the thing about it is that, like, that's, like, exactly what you guys said in the chat with, like, even men being in the home. A lot of them are just dead weight in there, honestly. A lot of them aren't actually actively doing anything. A lot of them are just kind of there, you know what I mean? A lot of them are just existing. This is why I say, like, the bar is so low, because it's like because we're used to men abandoning their family. You want a present father. But I don't care about you being a present father. Like I say all the time, you want to know how many children, how many kids come to school every day and they're flunking fucking class? Usually, a lot of the time, the people that I knew that had perfect attendance were doing terrible in the classes. The only reason why they had perfect attendance was because their parents their parents didn't want to be stuck at home with they goddamn children for them to not go to school. So they would just force their children to go to school every day, even if they were sick or even if they ain't feel like it. So that's how I kind of look at it when people give men credit for being present. Okay, present doesn't mean that you're active. Present just means that you're there, existing, taking up space. This is why I don't give men credit for, really being there. No, how are you active? How are you active? I don't care about you living under the same roof with, your wife or girlfriend and your children. I don't care about that. You could treat them like roommates under the same roof as them. So I don't care about that. How have you actually shown up in your family's life? What are you doing actively? Yeah, she did. She did. Elle was, like I said before, that's why I said at the beginning of the movie, it was very male centered. It was very male centered at the beginning because her whole intention of getting into law school was to simply get Warner back. It was just simply to get Warner back. And then she was competing with girlfriend or whatever, the fiance, or whatever. But also the thing about it was that Elle realized that she was competing with herself because she didn't want to be seen as just your typical, dumb blonde. You know what I mean? She wants to be seen as actually being smart and actually showing that, like, as a woman you can be multifaceted. That's the biggest thing. Like, that's the biggest thing that I want women to take away from my channel. Like, you don't have to just be pretty. You can be pretty, you could be smart, you could be funny, you could be sexual. There are multiple things that you can be. You don't have to just fit in yourself into one box. you know we live in a world where people are going to constantly try to box you in. People are going to constantly tell you who you're supposed to be, what you're supposed to be, how you're supposed to be. You're multifaceted. Thank you, Victoria. Victoria blessed some lovely people with a membership. Appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. So if you got a membership from Victoria, please thank her in the chat. But yeah, you have the ability to be, something greater than just, your body. And the thing about it is that makes people very uncomfortable. That makes people very, very uncomfortable. And the thing about it is that this actually isn't only applicable to women either. There are a lot of men who actually go through the same thing, especially celebrities. Like, I always think of Kanye West. They wanted Kanye West to stay as a producer so bad. They did not want Kanye West to rap. They wanted him to stay as a producer. And Kanye West was like, no, I know how to rap too. I know how to write my own rhymes and rap and make beats. And, like, you're not just going to box me into being a producer. I have other talents. I'm good at other things. Imagine if Kanye West allowed people to box him in to only be a producer. Like, imagine, you know what I mean? We would have missed out. We would have missed out on all of the great music that Kanye West created had he allowed people to box him in. So don't ever allow people to, like, box you in and tell you what you are and tell you what you aren't. You can be whoever you want to be, whenever you want to be. Child, one thing that I will always tell women, you can't feel bad about having a man. It is what it is. Like, it is what it is. If you, like, especially women will be like, what am I gonna do with my sexual urges or whatever? Well, you better go handle your sexual urges and just be smart. Put on a Jimmy hat. Put on a Jimmy hat and make sure you got some spare plan B's, and don't sleep with nobody while you're ovulating. And make sure you getting your OB-GYN checks. There you go. You know what I'm saying? And make sure you just stay emotionally detached so you don't get your emotions involved. You just got to make sure that you do the thing that you want to do in the smartest way possible. You know what I'm saying? That's the biggest thing. You can do what you want to do in the smartest way possible. I'm not going to sit on here and tell everybody, like, oh, go for a beat. Listen, that's impossible. Okay. That's impossible. A lot of women are not going to sit here and actually go for a beat. My biggest thing is just, You just have to be smart with the decisions that you're making, and you cannot allow people to try to overstep or override your boundaries, because men will try. You should already be prepared for a man to try to dismiss and override your boundaries at some point. They may not do it early on. They may not do it early on in the relationship, but once they see you get comfortable, they may try. And once you see that they do try, you need to be prepared to put your foot down. That's where I'm at. Okay, sleeping with a man at this point, the pleasure or possible pleasure is not worth the lack of peace that I would have to trade in, especially now with these laws that they're passing. Oh no. Mm-mm. With these laws that they have in place, no. After the last time I slept with somebody, I was like, no. Mm-mm. This ain't even worth having be on my brain to worry about. Mm-mm. Hmm. Eviction court, not bringing the children to eviction court to garner some sympathy. Exactly. Yeah, I'm celibate and it's way better. It is. It's way better being celibate. Way better being celibate. Woo, I'm hungry. I am. I'm hungry. What am I gonna make? What am I going to make? Because I'm kind of seeing stars a little bit. Yeah, these laws are horrible too. The laws are horrible. I'm like, no way. No way can I live. No way can I live in a world like this. Oh, well, I have some grapes. I have tons of grapes. Tons of grapes that need to be eaten. I thought about making an egg sandwich before I got my cleaning, but I didn't make enough time. I didn't. I didn't create enough time. Thank you. When I got my gum graft done, I have frozen grapes waiting for me. I just sucked on them. I did. I just sucked on them. Thank you. I bought this top. I bought this top last summer and I never wore it. Mm-hmm. They're real good when they're frozen. This is my vacay, but it's more of a staycay. I want to lose a little bit more. Like, I'm at the point now in my weight where I'm at like that last like 10, 15 pounds. And you know how hard that is to get off. So I'm losing it very, very slow, not being too hard on myself, just focusing on being strong and, staying energized and stuff like that. But not putting a whole lot of pressure on myself. Since I did recover from a eating disorder, try to make sure that I'm very, mindful. Ooh, nice. Japan. Once I tie a few more things together in my life over the next few coming months, I definitely plan to travel more. I don't like sausage, only if it's like turkey sausage or chicken sausage. I was gonna go to Costco today, but I have a few more days to use up what I have. Nice. She said, we don't want any problem with you. So I don't have a Facebook anymore, but I used to have a personal Facebook. And for whatever reason, I don't know. I think this was at a time where like I just didn't have a whole lot of awareness and I just really cared about like a follower count. I didn't even realize how many men that I had like had on Facebook or whatever that I was friends with. And so, on Facebook how you can click on those little things and it'll generate something about you. So it'll be like, how will your click this to see how your life will look like in 5 years? And like sometimes it'll say, it'll show you with like a ultrasound of like twin children or you getting married or something like that. It was like how you're gonna look in a relationship. You want to know what it generated for me? It had a picture of a couple and the woman was picking up the man. She picked him up and she had him sitting on top of the counter kissing him. And the men had commented and they were like, yep, that makes sense. They said the picture was spot on. That was like another reason why I always wanted to be muscular. And like I've always liked muscle on women, always. But also I'm only 5'1". I'm only 5'1". I'm very small. And I just never wanted to look like, how some guys they get picked on when they're younger. So they go become bodybuilders and stuff to get all that muscle because they don't want nobody picking on them. That's kind of how I was without getting picked on. Like I just never wanted to be taken for weak or small. You know, I never wanted to look like that. Like I wanted to be 5'1" of just like solid mass. It wasn't even a quiz. It was just those data stealing, because they're stealing your data whenever you do them. They're just those data stealing things on Facebook. Like your friends will just share them and it'll generate like a picture or something based off of what the topic is. They're usually called like gameplay or something like that. They usually it's like the same name. It'll just do a generation for you. But like I said last night, pole fitness has pretty much replaced me lifting, honestly. It has. It's replaced me lifting. This is just honey. And they make it like how they do in Japan. Because I think it's Japan that has all the nice ways for you to have condiments. And so what you do, you just break it in half, and then the honey comes out. I actually need to take these with me to pole dancing class. Because I bought these a while ago and forgot that I had them. Give me a little bit of glucose. A little bit of glucose while I'm there. And some salt for electrolytes. If you want like a really easy pick me up for the gym before the gym, do honey and sugar. Honey and salt. Do honey and salt. You get the honey, you get the glucose from the honey for your carb stores, and then the salt for your electrolyte. Renee, it's just a little thing that like your friends will share. Like, I don't know how you search for it, but you'll usually see it if your Facebook friends share it. I don't know how you find it. Yeah, I knew it because Japan is on a whole nother level. Okay, cool. Now I'm not seeing stars anymore because I was seeing stars like mad. Oh, you guys see my sparkles? So my setting powder, or not my powder, my setting spray has glitter in it. It's the one size setting spray that has glitter in it. That's what I've been using. Yep, the muscle's still going to be here. And as I get smaller and lose a little bit more weight, I'll start to have more definition. Thank you. And I like it because even when you spray it on initially, the glitter will fall off during the day. So it'll look like a lot once you spray it. It'll look like a lot once you spray it on, but then as the day progresses, it will slowly kind of come off. So you won't look like a glitter bomb just here. You'll be able to see it better now because I cut the brightness up. You definitely can see the glitter. Turn the brightness up on your screen, girl. It's all on my forehead. Yeah, you can spray it in your hair too. And I'm getting fancy. I'm going to be taking some headshots this week. I am going to be taking some headshots this week so I can be a little bit more professional with my social media. So I'm excited about that. I think I'm going to wear pink. I have like a pink, I've worn it on one of the live streams before, but I have like a really nice pink. I don't think I brought the jacket with me. I'll have to check to see if I brought the jacket with me, but I have a two-piece Victoria's Secret, not Victoria's Secret. I have a two-piece Express vest set. It's pink because I definitely want to wear pink, but also it's going to depend if I don't think I want to show my tattoos. I don't think I'm going to show my tattoos for it. So, excuse me. That may also change the trajectory of what I wear if I brought the jacket or not with me. If I brought the jacket, then I'll wear it because I want to have my arms covered for the photo shoot. But we'll see. I still shop at Express, but I just went there a couple weeks ago and they didn't have shit in there. They didn't have shit in there. If you don't know what to talk about yet, don't even worry about making a channel. I promise you, like, you'll get the urge. You'll get the urge. I think it's actually on a Thursday, if I'm not mistaken. think it's on a Thursday. 'Cause let me think. Today's the 14th, 15th, 16th. Yeah, it's actually on a Thursday. You're glowing these days. Thank you. Thank you. I'm telling y'all, like the pole, like me going back to pole dancing, like it really has been healing for me in more ways than one. You know what I'm saying? It is it's really just been very freeing for me, very healing for me. You are growing fast, that's for sure. Your success comes also with the fact that you aren't devices and shame are peculiar sexual orientations. Yeah, like that's my biggest thing. Like, I don't ever want women to think that I'm telling them what to do or what they should or shouldn't be doing. Like, I've learned from experience that you're not going to get anywhere trying to tell people what to do and how to live their life. You know, from my own life experience, I've learned that life is the greatest teacher. You know, life experience is always going to be the greatest teacher. And you can give somebody you know, all of your advice, you can give somebody all of your wisdom, but at the end of the day, a person's still going to do whatever it is that they want to do. And shaming somebody definitely is not going to get them to do what you want to do. If anything, shaming somebody is actually going to get them to do what it is that you're advising them not to do. Um, so I've learned from my own experience in life that you're wasting your time doing that, and I don't have enough energy to, you know, do that. All I really care about is that whatever decision that women make, women just have the knowledge. Women just have the knowledge of the multiple outcomes of what can potentially happen if they make said decision. And then they can act accordingly from that, you know, and that's it. You know what I mean? It's really my channel is just prep. It's all about life preparation. Like if I had to just encompass my channel into two like words, it's just life preparation. That's it. Just preparing you to, you know, seek and understand without you having to actually go through it in life. If you choose that, if you understand that you don't want to have to go through it, you know, I'm one of those people where I don't have to go through a lot of those things in life to be able to gain wisdom. You know, once I listen to people and I believe people when they're telling me their story. I don't meet people with judgment. And I don't meet people with my ego a lot of the time. So that's helped me have like a brighter lens on what people are telling me and like actually using that as information for myself instead of meeting other people with ego to say, oh well, that'll never happen to me, or you must have did something wrong, or you know, if you would have did this, the situation wouldn't have happened that way. Nope. Because everyone thinks that they're so smart and everyone thinks that they have the answers until they're actually in the predicament. In life, you don't know until you're in that situation. You don't know until you're in that situation. So the least I can do is give you some level of preparation on what you are to expect. Of course. I listen, I really do, like, I really am listen, I'm for everybody. Like I said before, all I care about is that you just stay smart and you stay protective of yourself. That's the number one thing. Though that's the biggest thing. Just be smart and be protective of yourself. That's it. That's all. Very simple. Exactly. There can be space for two opposing views. Women want the knowledge and then they can choose whatever path they desire. Exactly. But I really appreciate like the support from you guys. Like I'm almost at 20K. Like I'm almost at freaking 20K. And I've had this channel for a year. I actually hit my year anniversary a couple weeks ago. I did. I hit my year anniversary like the second to last week of June. And then TikTok is popping off now too. So they shadow banned me on TikTok. And so I had quit posting on TikTok Pretty much when we got the new president. So once they voted the president in, I got off of TikTok because it was very apparent that they were shadow banning me. So I want to say I quit posting on TikTok in February. I returned back in May. And since my return back in May to TikTok, I've gained about, holy, let me think. I've gained about 25,000 followers on TikTok since I've been back, since May. So the support, the outpouring of love and support from you all, it's really, really appreciated. It really, really is. It always makes me so happy when you all tell me that, like, you enjoy the content. I help you get out of a bad breakup. I've helped you with your confidence, your self-esteem. Like, I'm always like very like delighted to, hear those things and read those things. Aw, you're welcome. Yeah, I'm telling you, pole dancing has been life changing. It has. It's been life changing. My teeth look so good. My teeth look so good. And that cleaning, it's so nice to be at a level with my teeth where like a cleaning feels good. Like I'm like, yes, clean my teeth. Clean my teeth. I don't know what fictosexual is. Girl, you better use Google. I'm not even gonna pretend what that is. Because if you ask me, I'm gonna be like a person that's sexually aroused by fictional stories. If I had to guess, a person that's sexually aroused by fictional stories. I have no idea what that is. Oh, nice. Well, I'm glad to know that my Latin and denotation skills have come into play. Because I'm like, fictional means fake. In Chanel, yeah, fictional, non-fictional. Yeah, like Chanel is like an extension of a word. So non-fict versus fict, fake versus real. How do you make them regret I'm late? By not giving them access. You make them regret by being a better version of yourself than you were when you were in a relationship with them and not giving them access, aka being the one that got away. As a woman, you should always be wanting to be the one that got away. You always yield the most power as a woman when you decide to be the one that got away. When you're the one that got away, a man will lose sleep over you. Like a man will never be the same when you decide to be the one that got away. Dang, AI can literally have you with the Prince Charming from your favorite book. Could you imagine having an AI robot and being able to do that? Like just telling your AI robot, like, be the character named XYZ from this book, like embody his characteristics and his personality, and you just, oh my God, that would be a dream. That would be a dream. I need to start looking into AI companies to start investing. No, for real though. I actually really do need to. What do you think of men who ghost after coming on strong? They're just trying to have you chase after them. Men that come on strong and future fake and make all these promises and say that they can't wait to take you out. They like you so much and they just ghost you. They're doing that because they want to get you to chase after them. I call all of my exes, X is short for excuses. Those were just excuses for boyfriends. That's what X is short for. X is short for excuse for a boyfriend. Do you think it's normal when a man mention marriage knowing, well, I don't like marriage, only for him to flip it and say he mentioned it only to quell my anxiety? No. No, he's just trying to see if he can get you to change your mind. He was just trying to test the temperature and see if you change your mind. And then once you called it out and said, "No, I don't want marriage. I still don't want marriage." He has to backslide and say, "Well, no, I wasn't trying to convince you of wanting marriage or anything." As soon as a man starts backsliding, all right, this I'm telling you, this is a I can tell you this with about 99% confidence. As soon as a man starts backsliding on something that you call him out for, and I told you guys earlier in the chat, or I told you guys earlier in the stream, when a man is trying to convince you of something, he's trying to sell you bullshit. Okay? Anytime they're trying to backslide and correct something and clarify something, they're trying to sell you bullshit. Okay? They're trying to manipulate you in some type of way. There's some game they're trying to play. A lot of the time is women, the way that you're seeing it, you're calling it exactly how you see it. And to prevent that from happening, that's why men gaslight women. Men gaslight women because they don't want you to call it like you see it. They want you to call it like they see it. That's why they're gaslighting you. No, always go with your first instinct. Call it like you see it. Don't ever let a man call it like like he wants you to see it. Don't. Men will spin a story in any type of way to get you to see it from their point of view. That's why men want you to be so open. They don't want you to be rigid in your point of view. No, you know what you said, you know what you saw, you know how you felt, you know. As soon as someone starts trying to explain stuff to you, especially if the explanation goes on and on and on and on, just cut your ears off. Stop listening. It's kind of like a hot pink, but not hot pink. It's kind of like, I guess, magenta pink. I think magenta would be the best like word to explain. Magenta pink. Thank you. True. I did call it instead an up call. You called out the contradictions, but what did he do? He deflected. Exactly. They're always going to deflect. And he had the audacity to say, I am mistrustful when he's still dealing with his ex, but I walked away. Exactly. This guy's full of shit. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, block their ass. They don't need to have access to you. It's plenty of people out here in the world. You don't need to be seeing what's going on over here when me and you ain't together no more. Point blank, period. Mm-mm. You don't need to know anything about that. Yes, I want everybody to be smarter that watches my channel. I'm an educational girly. I want everybody smart. I want y'all frontal lobe to develop from watching my content. I do. I want y'all smart and unfuckwittable. Ugh, I can't stand that. I can't stand that. As soon as somebody starts trying to enforce their beliefs on me, I just shake my head and cut my ears off. I start daydreaming about something else. I'm like, what am I going to eat for dinner tonight? How am I going to get my nails done the next time I get my nails done? I'm so serious. As soon as they start doing that, just start thinking about something else and just shake your head. And then once they're done talking, just go, okay, okay, but, you don't have anything to say. Oh, they're gonna get so frustrated. They're gonna get so frustrated because really they just want to argue. They just want to argue whenever they're doing that shit. So literally, just okay. They're not gonna know what to do. Just don't argue back. Don't anything. Just say okay. They're not gonna know what to do because they weren't able to get an emotional reaction to you. Can you recommend your fave Robert Greene books? Honestly, the books are really lengthy. Okay, Robert Greene books are really, really lengthy, but because I like all of them, I've pretty much read all of them except The Art of War. That's the only one that I haven't read. So if you don't want to actually read the Robert Greene books, just get the Daily Laws book. Okay? The Daily Laws book is like it's a meditation book. It's a daily meditation book that has an excerpt of all of the Robert Greene books that he's ever written. So it's a new page for every day. That's a really good way for you to, get access to all of the Robert Greene books without having to read every single one of them. So I would start off and just get the Daily Laws book first. And then, depending on what excerpts you like from the Daily Laws book, then you could pick what book you want to start with. But if I had to pick, I like Laws of Human Nature. And the reason why I like Laws of Human Nature is because I feel like you need to know human nature before I feel like you need to know and accept human nature before you entertain anything else. Once you're able to understand and accept human nature, life is so much easier. Life is so much easier. Because then when you read the laws of 48 laws of power, once you read that book, it won't seem so sinister. The reason why I don't like to recommend 48 laws of power of being the first book that people read is because depending on where you lay when it comes from a moral standpoint, starting off with that book it'll really turn you off of Robert Greene. It'll really, really, really turn you off of Robert Greene if you are a person that's really based in morality. So that's the reason why I don't like really recommending it first. But I feel like Laws of Human Nature, like, I feel as though you can't read Laws of Human Nature and like actually refute what he's talking about. Because from life experience, you're going to be like, okay, I have seen this. I have seen this happen. And once you accept that, then it's much easier for you to read something like the 48 Laws of Power. Yeah, you just have to be a very open-minded person to start off with something like the 48 Laws of Power, honestly. You have to be very open-minded. You have to put your ego in what you think and how you think people are supposed to operate or how you think they're operating as. You have to be willing to push that aside to read that book. So many people so many people believe what they've told us and how they have controlled us, and that book like completely dismantles all of that. I experienced the switch up last Monday with a so-called friend of some decades. After 6 weeks and 3 days after the switch for confirmation, I left. I haven't talked to him since then. Don't play with me. You did the right thing. You did the right thing. As soon as they switch up, leave. Leave. Don't ask no questions. Okay. Don't stay for clarity. Don't stay for understanding. Don't stay to try to figure anything out. Seeing the switch is all you need to exit. Point blank, period. All you need is to see a change in behavior, and that's it. That's all you need to be able to signal to you that it's time to go. Thank you. Yep, in my mind, everything that we see out here is crappy marketing, public relations nonsense. Yeah, it's all curated. I know you meant hair. Thank you. It's all curated for you to think a certain way. Literally everything. Everything in the world has been curated for you to think a certain way, for you to have certain beliefs, when in reality it's all fake. None of it's real. Yeah. I have such low tolerance for people when they start switching. Like, no, like I'm not gonna see it through. I don't care. I tell myself that all the time. I'm not going to see this through. I don't want to see this through. No. Mm-mm. I don't want to see this through. There's something on the other side of this behavior, and I don't want to figure out what it is. Because that's really why I ended up cutting off everything with the guy that I used to sleep with. I was like, no, you're acting weird. You're acting different. Mm-mm. I was like, don't even worry about it. Even though he's all the way in Chicago while I'm here in Florida, I wasn't going to be, because I'm going to be staying here in Florida. I wasn't going to be dealing with him no way. But I cut off all contact. I cut off all contact. I said, no, I said, you're acting different. You're getting too comfortable. Mm-mm. Yeah, the thing about it is that a lot of people will say that you're too strict. Like, that's the thing. We're usually like groomed and gaslit into thinking that that's being strict or that's being mean. You know, you're not being a good person when you're just cutting people off like that. And it's like, listen, I've never been hurt by a person that I cut off after seeing them switch. That's all the proof I need. I've never been hurt by a person who I cut off after I've noticed their change in behavior. So the proof is in the pudding. I don't need to keep someone around. I don't need to keep someone around to show me and hurt me for me to then realize that the person was hoping that I would stay around for them to hurt me. Like, no, I don't know. It's fine. I'm not that curious. Because people sure will tell you it's not that deep. It's not that deep. It's definitely that deep. It's always that deep over here. It's always that deep over here. I can't stand it when people say that. You're blowing it out of proportion. You're making a big deal out of nothing. It's not that deep. It is to me. I wouldn't care. That's another one that people try to use. I wouldn't care if they did. Okay, that's you. That's you. I don't care. I don't care what you would do. All I know is I'm not tolerating it. That's the reason why I don't tell nobody nothing. I don't tell nobody with any conflict, because guess what? I know myself better than anybody else, and I know my situation better than anybody else. No one needs to know what's going on over here. I don't need no outside advice. I know myself in and out. I know the situation that's in front of me, and I know all the pieces to the puzzle in how to work around those things based off of the information that I know. No one is going to know all the inner workings and thoughts with your situation. This is why you have to get to a point where you trust yourself so much that you don't need to lean on other people for guidance. You must get to a point where you can lean on your own understanding. I know the Bible and religion tells you not to do that, you know, but no, you have enough understanding. You do. You have enough understanding to know yourself and what you're up against and what you're dealing with. Over the last 3 days, I was there. He stopped opening the door to the car for me. He did not bring my bag upstairs. He started the silent treatment. Basically, he started the training process. Yep. Yep. That's when all bets are off at that point. We're done. We are done once you do that. No questions necessary. I'm not going to, like, what's wrong? Did I do something? I know I ain't done a goddamn thing. And I'm not going to try to get it out of you while you're acting this way. I'm out of here. If you can't verbalize what's going on before those actions happen, I don't want you in my life. Because me, I have enough self awareness to know when I'm in a bad mood. I have enough self awareness to know when my mood is going to come off different to other people. So sometimes when I'm at work and I know that I woke up on the wrong side of the bed, I'll tell people at work, listen, nothing is wrong, nothing's happened. I literally tell them at work, I'm like, just expect for me to be a little bit more quiet today. I'm just not really in the mood to talk, but there's nothing wrong. It's just today is not my day. I let people that I work with or people that I'm close with, if I communicate with them regularly, I let them know that. I let them know that before my actions show, and then they will have to hunt me down. If no, there's no need for all that. It's just, I'm just not in the mood today. Don't take it personal. That simple. Exactly. Honestly, you have to start by number one, like, yes, like what you said, learn how to emotionally detach from things, learn how to emotionally detach from outcomes, and let go of the fantasy that you have built in your head, and learn how to trust yourself. That's the biggest thing. You have to understand you have to understand how to trust yourself. And you also have to learn how to not be in control of other people. A lot of people want to have a firm grip on fantasies and people and things like that because it's your means of controlling the situation. You can't. You can't. Like, I love that quote by DMX when DMX said that you can trust everybody. You can trust every single person. You can trust that the people that you know are going to be the people that you know. You can trust the fact that they are going to be those people. And he's 100% right. Instead of living in this fantasy land of trying to control how you look at somebody and hoping that if you control them enough, they will be the right person or the person that you want them to be. No, you have to trust the fact that that's who the person is and accept that that's just who that person is, and if that is something that you want to partake in or not. Yeah. Once you trust and understand that people are going to act the way that they're going to act, and in most cases people are not going to change, life is easier. You can lean on your own understanding at that point. You can lean on your own understanding once you accept the fact that people are going to be who they are. Then at that point you won't need nobody else's advice. You'll just see things for what they are and ask yourself if that's something you're okay with or not. Not try to overstay your welcome in situations in hopes that you get the outcome that you want. You're going to waste so much time if you think like that. You're going to waste a lot of time, and you're going to miss out on a lot of opportunities that you could have taken time for that you actually would have control over because it's a lot easier for people to control things that are outside of them, because it people are more invested into the fantasy. People like things fake. People like the fantasy more than, real life. So when you control things outside of yourself, you get to hold on to that fantasy. You get to keep having the movie play in your head of how things are going to go. And so you just will hold on to that forever and ever and ever and ever until eventually, however long it takes, you will realize that, okay, like, this movie I have playing in my head is just not gonna, it's actually not gonna play out this way. Yes, I'm able to transmute energy. Child, that's all I do. That's all I do. Alchemize and transmute. Instagram and Facebook pay the least. I think Instagram is a horrible platform to start. I think if you really, really want to grow, here's the thing though. You have to know this is the thing. A lot of it is partially based on, number one, how much money you want to make. And also, number two, what's your audience look like? Because I think when people want to create content, people care too much about the content that they want to create. When you're creating content, you have to think about what people want to see. What do you want to give people, and what do those people want to see? You have to study the audience. So whatever niche you want to go to, you need to go and look up content creators in your niche, and you need to look at them on Instagram, the comments. How are they commenting on Instagram? How are they commenting on YouTube? How are they commenting on TikTok? Because when you're on different platforms, the mindsets of people are very different. Like, this is why I say sociology and psychology, you'll be able to do anything. You'll be able to do anything once you have a good hold on sociology and psychology. Social media platforms is sociology, because there's a reason why some people like TikTok more than Instagram, or why they like YouTube more than TikTok. There's a factor with sociology and psychology based off of people choosing a certain platform off of another. So based off of your target audience and your demographic, okay, which one do you like, and how are you going to cater to how that person thinks? Because in my opinion, Instagram is very superficial. In my opinion, Instagram is very fake. Instagram, in my opinion, the demographic of people on Instagram, they tend to be very superficial in thinking. Whereas I kind of feel as though TikTok and YouTube, people that like those platforms tend to want more information. The people on TikTok, they want information very quickly. They do. They want Instagram. They want information very quickly. People on YouTube tend to want to gain more information over time. Ooh, a content creator I follow on Instagram seemed to have the most beautiful love story. Child, this morning she posted a picture of a black guy. Yeah, you can't believe everything that you see. You can't believe everything that you see, because at the end of the day, it's a job. You know what I mean? I think a lot of people forget that, like, people are getting paid from the content that you see. So you always have to ask yourself, what's going on in the background? Paying attention to body language, paying attention to things like that. It's very important. All social media platforms are a combination of sociology and psychology. The psychology is based off of the algorithm and the content that you watch. That will tell a lot about a person on a psychological level, based off of their algorithm, based off of what social media platform that they're choosing. But as far as like groups, because sociology is the study of social dynamics, social media. So the herd of the people that prefer a certain type of social media platform over another, they also individually they have their own psychology, but as a group there is a level of sociology that they have with that social media platform. And then you'll diverge that further into whatever niche a group of people in. So obviously there's a sociology, there's a grouping of sociological or sociology thinking between the people that follow me. You know what I mean? Yep, transmute the right way, which Shira isn't because she foregoes the principle of equivalent exchange. And so they are totally okay to give their bodies and wombs very valuable possessions for a bag. And the thing about it is this, you can do it quick. That's the thing too. You can do it quick. No shade to Shira. I love Shira's content, but Shira really could have popped off way, way, way quicker as far as like her trajectory. She really could have popped off quicker. If you decide to do this social media thing, you actually can grow quick. You can grow very fast. You just have to know how to transmute the energy. You have to know exactly what direction to transmute the energy. And always remember, you're going to transmute energy the fastest when you are not anchored to anything. Because I was very stagnant on this channel for quite some time. Like May, in the month of May, I was real stagnant on this channel. And I was like, why won't this grow? The reason why I was stagnant was because I had my friend at the time overstaying her welcome in my life. I had to cut her off. And then as soon as I cut her off, boom, subscriber count went up. Money started growing more. Influence started growing more. Things just started pouring in because I cut her off. That's the sacrifice you have to make. That's what she means by equivalent exchange. I exchanged the anchor friend, the friend that was anchoring me, for me to have a faster growth for social media. You gotta give up something. Oh my God, yes. Clickbait is 100% based off of sociology, but also it is psychological too. There is no such thing as rage baiting. That's the thing. There's no such thing as rage baiting. Nobody can bait you. Nobody can bait you into something. It's just brought up to the surface what was already there. Because I know, like on Facebook and on Instagram, they love doing those. Though they always have those content creators that like they do that rage bait stuff where you ever seen the rage bait the recipes? You know what I'm talking about? You know the recipe rage baiters where they'll take apples and they'll coat them in they coat them in cheese, and they make nachos with apples with cheese, and they do all this crazy ridiculous shit with food and waste a ton of food. People get so pissed off in the comments. You don't know how to cook. What's wrong with you? You're wasting food. I watch that content and I just be laughing because it's so obvious that they're making the content to rile people up because those people are already riled up internally. Nobody can rage bait you. Nobody can rage bait you. The rage is already there. It's just being exposed. I would say your content is heavy on decentering men. I'm here for it. Yes, I need the girlies to center themselves. You know what I mean? I need the girlies to center themselves. You'll accomplish a lot more. Yep, she sure was. How to not be afraid of showing your face though. With deepfakes, AI, and lots of creeps out there, it's getting pretty scary. I'd want a full mocap costume to do YouTube. You cannot do anything in fear. If you do something in fear, you don't do it at all. Okay? If you do something in fear, do not do it at all. I remember in gymnastics, that's what our instructors used to always teach us in gymnastics. Whenever there was a move that like you wanted to try, the instructor used to always say, if you don't give this move 100% of your effort, that's how you get injured. And it's the same thing with fear. When you do something out of fear, you're attracting outcomes to you. Whenever you do something out of fear, fear is a very low vibrational, very low frequency state. If you are fearful of doing something, do not do it at all. Do not do it at all, because guess what? Someone could take a picture of you outside and use that picture and make a deep fake out of that if someone really really wanted to. It could even be a friend. There could be a friend that got pissed off at you, and then you all took a picture together and they crop out your face of the picture and then they use that as a deep fake. At the end of the day, if you decide that you really want to go through with anything, whether you want to be a business owner, you want to go to college, you want to be a content creator, you have to do it having no fear. Because if you have fear, that's what's going to fuck you up. That's when everything that you're afraid of that's going to happen to you is going to happen. Oh, well, I'm glad that you're stronger after watching my content. Yes. Yes, it's very easy to make money. And that's another saying too. Scared money don't make money. Y'all that's worried about your face and deep fakes and AI, scared money don't make money. Scared money don't make none money. If you out here scared, if you out here fearful, if you out here what if, you're not going to make any money. You're not going to make any money. You can't be scared. You got to do it. Now, can you make a faceless channel? You can make a faceless channel, but that still won't save you. That still won't save you, because the thing about it is that the internet is forever. There's someone that knows you, that knows how your voice sounds. Okay, there's plenty of faceless channels that's been exposed. That's why I said you can't be scared, because there's always going to be a loophole. People just think that what they're doing right now is safe. No, it's not safe. It's just there hasn't been any negative outcome from what you're doing right now. But there are plenty of people who someone took a picture of them and they're using the picture as deep fakes. They didn't even have to get on social media. So you got to remove your fear. You have to remove your fear. Do you think manipulators are always scared and operate from fear? Um, Usually. Not always, but usually. Because in order for someone to manipulate you, they have to have fear around not getting their desired result, which is the reason why they have to manipulate you. Because they understand that if they're open and honest with you, that would reduce their chances on getting what it is that they want from you. So, like, a man isn't going to come up to you and say, "Hey, I think you're really attractive and I would love to have sex with you." Like, most men understand that that result isn't going to get them anywhere. So they have to sweet talk you, compliment you, act like they care about you, spend money on you. So that way you let your guard down and then they try to sleep with you. Yeah, just reduce your fear. That's all. Yeah, you can at the end of the day, you cannot tiptoe around life. You can't. You cannot tiptoe around life. It's landmines scattered in life, okay? And you don't know where the landmines are. You don't know where any of this shit is. You'll tiptoe and land right on a landmine. I'm not about to sit here and tiptoe and look around. No, that's no way to live. You'll look back on your life and realize you didn't do shit with it because you were avoiding something. And most of the time, you're avoiding something that's not going to fucking happen. Most of the time, you are avoiding something that's never going to happen. Thank you. This is only day 2 hair, so my hair's still pretty small. It'll get bigger as the days go by. I don't even think yeah, it's barely been 24 hours. It's barely been 24 hours since I had a wash day. Exactly. Exactly. Run and do what you're trying to do, get to the goal and just keep it moving. There's fear at the end of the day, anything could happen. Anything could happen. The more cautious you are, it will not translate in you being safe. There was a video that I seen yesterday, and it was a woman, and she was like trying to get off of this boat onto the little dock or whatever, and so it wasn't stable. It was kind of like it was just slowly moving, they're in water or whatever. And so she got one foot on there, and then you could tell she questioned herself. She didn't feel like she was stable enough. So then she stepped back on the boat, but when she tried to step back on the boat, she fucking fell into water. It's like, girl, if you would have committed the first time to step into safety, you wouldn't have fell in the water. All you got to do is commit, just commit to what you're doing with no fear. I want to take a solo trip to London, but I'm scared. I'm from New York City, but we'll see. I might just have to book my ticket. That's what it's going to take. That's what it's going to take for you to have to do it, girl. Just book everything. Just book everything and go. And honestly, London isn't really like, from what I've heard, London isn't really like an unsafe place for solo travelers. I haven't solo traveled before, but I mean, I kind of feel as though, because I definitely plan to solo travel, but it's to be expected that you're gonna be nervous. You know what I mean? Like you're traveling alone. You know what I mean? Anything that you do alone is going to be fear inducing. Like I already know that when I decide to solo travel, like, yeah, like I'm gonna be a little bit nervous. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Like out the country. I've solo traveled plenty of times in the country, but out the country, yeah, that's gonna be different. You know what I mean? You'll be fine. You will, you'll be fine. Y'all are so sweet with the compliments. Thank you. Because, lately I've been looking like who shot John and forgot to kill him, but I've been working my 9 to 5. I've been working my 9 to 5, pole dancing, creating all the content. So, and still doing live streams. So, by the time I get on here, your girl is tired. Oh, nice. You inspired me to look at ultrasound over nursing. Your life looks soft. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. There's actually I don't know what it has been with lately with me, but like I have been so into like true crime and like thriller movies. If y'all have Peacock, watch the movie Drop. It is so good. It is so good on Peacock. Drop. That movie was actually really, really good. It's very rare for me to want to watch a movie and like actually be invested into it. That movie was freaking good. But yeah, the life is soft over here. I'm not gonna lie. The life is soft over here. My mom's a nurse, and I was just like, I don't want to do that. My mom's a nurse. I have a cousin that's a nurse practitioner. Um, one of my aunties was a nurse. I said, no. She said, just put an air tag in that wig or braids. Put your collar on, girl. Oh, nice. Mary said that she just traveled from London for on a solo trip. Nice. Yeah, that's what I said. I said nursing, I can't. I can't. And the thing about it is that like I don't want to spend time with like the same handful of patients on a shift. Like that is one thing I like about ultrasound. I'm just going to see multiple people throughout the day. Oh my god, you deaf Midwest talk about who shot John. I didn't know that was even a Midwest thing. I wonder if the older we get, the more we be into true crime stuff because my grandma's TV stayed on ID channel. God rest her soul. That's all my grandma watches. All my grandma watches is ID channel. This is what I think. I think as you get older, you don't have when you're young, you're on the fool's journey, right? You're on the fool's journey. So when you're young, you don't realize that in the moment you're more curious, and so therefore you're putting yourself in more dangerous predicaments. So when you look back on your life and you reflect back on the things that you were doing when you were younger, you will think to yourself like, I can't believe I'm alive. I can't believe that I did XYZ or went to this stranger's house or did all of this stuff. I can't believe that I'm alive. And so I think as you get older and you realize the situations that you were putting yourself in and how they kind of ended, I think as you get older, things like true crime kind of become more appealing because you kind of live vicariously through these true crime situations because you very well might have been in a predicament where that could have been the outcome for you. That's what I think. Because whenever I'm watching true crime, like I usually want to watch something where it's like for me, I like missing cases. I like missing cases because for a lot of these missing cases, like they're missing after just a very normal thing. Like they're missing after like they went to like the grocery store. Like they're missing after just a regular daily activity that everybody is doing. And so it's just kind of like, yeah, it kind of sounds sick, but it's like I'm living vicariously through this person technically because I'm doing the same shit that they were last doing before they went missing. You know what I'm saying? Lifetime is so dramatic. So dramatic. Men are good until they don't have to be. It's that simple. Men are good until they don't feel like they have to be. If you want to stay, if you want to have them overstay their welcome for them to show you that they don't have to be a good man anymore, be my guest. But in my opinion, men are good until they feel like they don't have to be anymore. Once they feel like they don't have to be good anymore, I just I just bag them up and put them on the curb. Toss them to the curb. Yep, I think you'll be fine. I agree with you. Yeah, don't talk to strangers. Even if you don't know where you're going, always look like you do know where you're going. Walk with intention. Don't get distracted by nobody. Don't let nobody, yeah, this is stuff y'all all know. You know what I'm saying? The girls over here are smart. Yeah, it also reinforces my instincts to not do something or go certain places. And also, I like to watch true crime because it also reinforces um if my hunches are correct on people and human behavior. Especially if it's like a heterosexual dynamic and there's been like a killing and unaliving. Once they give the backstory on like the husband or the wife, I start to create hunches on like, who I think was the perpetrator. I start to have hunches in my head, and I'm like, oh, I was right. You know what I mean, or what their motive was, why they were doing it. Yeah, don't tell anyone you're alone. You are always meeting someone. 100%. 100%. There was a girl that made a video a few months back, and she had went to the Dominican Republic, and she was staying in a resort, and the guy checking her in the hotel had asked her if she was traveling solo or not, and she had said yes. And someone that was coming to clean up the hotel, like, pretty much, was, like, trying to make, like, a pass at her or whatever in her room, and so she ended up escaping the room, and so she went outside the resort, and there was another worker that was, like, trying to talk to her or whatever, so they literally like, the guy up front must have told all of the workers that that girl was alone, and, they wanted to obviously, target that girl because they knew that she was alone. So definitely never tell somebody that you're traveling alone because yeah. And wear a fake wedding ring too. Get you a little decoy wedding ring from Amazon for like 20 bucks and say you're meeting up with your husband. Yep, intuition practice. That really is what it is. Honestly, I'm always trying to practice my intuition because that's the best way for you to practice your intuition. Just test your hunches. Honestly, test your hunches and you'll know. Oh, I don't want to be married. Mm-mm. No, I don't want to be married. I just really like my freedom. I like my freedom and marriage just ooh, that's just too much of a commitment for another person for me. She said I'll be planning my wedding and funeral in the same year. Get married to yourself the same year that you die. Right before they pull the plug, be like, "Get all the officials in. It's time. It's time. I'm about to get married to myself, y'all." She said it was a sham and ghetto. It sounds like it, and it looks like it too. Sorry. When I hear people talk about their marriage, I'm just like, no, hell no. He's going to be over 70. You are hilarious. You'll be planning his funeral. That's another thing. These men are living too long. These men are living so long that 70 isn't even I had a patient that was like 95 a couple weeks ago, and he was walking and with it. I said, these men are living too long. To the point now where you got to get you an 85-year-old. 70 is super young. Yeah, there are some cuz I've looked into it honestly. I've looked into looking for some women only travel groups because there are some women only travel groups. I have looked into it. And you also can like look up I'm sure they have groups on Facebook that do the same thing. They get women together for travel groups. I have a whole video on what stripping taught me about men. The video has like 207K views. The video literally has over 200,000 views. Just type in what stripping taught me about men. It will all come up. I have a whole hour-long video about it. Right, mystery meat, and haven't been medically checked since living at their mama's. I'm telling you. Cause and they're lazy too. A lot of them don't want to work. Everyone knows that staying active and moving and keeping your brain working, keeping your brain active is what keeps you to live long. Oh, nice. Thank you. You said you watched it twice. Appreciate you. Thank you. She said you're gonna go to London, then them London people men gonna be like, hey, hey, welcome to London town, girl. Oh my god, that's crazy. After having their American Korean wedding, I ghosted quickly. I already went through my true crime phase in high school, watching Forensic Files and True TV all the time back in the day. It's so sporadic for me. I'll have phases where I'll watch it and then I won't watch it. Cheerio. Oh, nice. We have a group chat here in Dallas with 300 women on Group Me. We do meetups. Oh, that's dope. That's dope. I swear to God, at some point I'm gonna do like a meet and greet or something. Something like that where we can all meet up or like travel together or something. But I gotta get me a security guard because men be watching my channel. Okay. I'm not coming without somebody. I'm not coming without somebody else. There's an island in Finland that doesn't allow men. I was reading about it. I believe it. When I think of lad culture, I think of a ton of big belly white redheads. Lad culture, that's what I think of. When I looked at the women's traveling groups, it's just very overpriced. Like, I looked into a women's only travel group for Thailand, and I was like, it's overpriced. Thailand is fairly safe to go to traveling solo. So I was just like, yeah, it's fine. Aw, thank you. Was married for 17 years to the good guy, never paid the mortgage or a house bill in a 5,000 square foot home, pool, basketball court, and land. Didn't even work when I was pregnant. I'd still rather stay solo. There's your answer, ladies. Yeah, and in London, don't they call, is it London? They call vagina a minge. Why do they call it that? They're like, I have to shave me minge. Or I don't know if that's London. I'm not really familiar with London accents. I might be talking about a whole nother country. But minge is such a weird word. Yeah, when a man pays for everything, he thinks he can make all the decisions by himself and you have to follow. I would not allow another man to control me like that again. Torture. I'd rather pay bills. Yeah. Because that's the thing. They don't ever want to pay. They don't want to pay out of the goodness of their heart. They want to pay to have control over somebody. They're paying for control. And it's like, it's not even worth it. It's not even worth it. I'll just go clock in. I'll just go clock in. Even my own boss ain't that controlling, and my boss ain't even getting none of my vagina either. Thailand is very safe. I went there 3 times to different locations. It's completely safe, and Thai massage is the best. Honestly, I'm thinking about booking a trip there in, like, October. Is October a good time to go? Because I think that's the opposite. Is that the opposite of high season for Thailand? I don't wanna go during high season. I don't wanna go during high season, but I would like to do something in the fall. I have to look into it. Go to Costa Rica in the fall, the Caribbean side. One of my roommates actually, she's actually from Costa Rica. She's actually from Costa Rica. I'll have to hit her up. I'll have to hit her up and ask her some questions. I'll be on here for like 15 more minutes and then I'm gonna get off. I'm gonna get off and eat and do some laundry. What's your opinions or thoughts or suggestions for women over 40 that want to simply reinvent their life out with the old and with the new? Just create a version of yourself that you always wanted to be. Like, think back to, maybe when you were like young and like maybe there were certain things that were demonized about like how you wear your hair or what clothes you're supposed to wear. Um, get rid of any thinking that's attached to age. Like, I can't stand it when people say that, as you get older, your hair is supposed to be short. Girl, get a 30-inch bust down. Okay. Be 40 and wear a 30. And if you be over 40 and wear a 30-inch bust down if you want. There ain't no rule book saying that you can't have long hair when you're older. You know what I mean? Really just deconstructing everything that you've been taught about like your mindset and your appearance and just do it. Like just start doing it. You want to start playing in makeup? Look up YouTube tutorials. Look up YouTube tutorials on how to do your makeup. Start doing your hair the way you want to. Just start living unapologetically. And I feel as though once women reach menopause, and like they actually do say that like this has been proven. Once women hit menopause, women start to care less anyway. Women start to care less once they reach menopause because they don't have the hormones driving them to make babies and to like care about what people are thinking, to be more communal, to be like more bonded, to have children. Once women reach menopause, the the community where it's like centered around children, where you have to care a whole lot about what other people think, it doesn't matter as much because you're biologically, your body's, it no longer needs to create a child, so you don't need to give a fuck about keeping the community around you and what they think. That's an evolutionary thing. I would love to have a ton of gray hair and it be long. My One of my cousins, she's older. She's like in her 50s. Her hair is really long and she has one patch of gray that she grows out. Y'all, I don't care if y'all ask a question or not. You guys can ask, it don't matter. I'm 30 and in the caring less is starting already. I'm dressing in it I don't give a fuck ways, in ways I never would have tried in my early 20s. I go outside, no makeup, blemishes, cellulite on my legs, and a summer skirt. I love that. All that matters is that you care about how you look. That's the number one person that needs to care about how you look, is yourself. Mm-hmm. Yep, and perimenopause. But I'm telling you, perimenopause and menopause, it's gonna wash your worries away. It is. It's gonna naturally wash your worries away. You're just not gonna care anymore. You're gonna be like, I don't need nobody to like me. I'm not even able to make no babies. Who gives a fuck? You have to really vet who is holding the money in the travel groups. There is currently an all women's travel group that is suing the owner because she doesn't have any of their money. And that's the thing. The way with the economy is, it's just like I'll just go alone. So work isn't really bad. Work is actually good. The girl I was crushing on, she went back to her regular location. But like I told y'all, I had got the ick over her anyway. So I have not been talking to her. The other girl that returned back to work, she only works part-time and she's so stressed out with her mother. She don't really have any time to bother me. And I work alone, so I'm happy. As long as I get to work alone, I'm cool. Honestly, I'm cool. They don't bother me. They don't bother me at work or anything. So no complaints there. She said Miss 23, Miss Jordan. Ah, yep, no more Miss 23, no more Miss Jordan. And like now I'm not even sexually attracted to her anymore. I get turned off so fast, man. I get turned off so fast. Like I'll like someone, I'll like someone a little bit heavy for a little bit, and then once I get the ick, it's no going back. There's no going back. It was just multiple things. She's too young, first of all. She's too young. She's too immature. And she's cheap too. She's cheap. Like the shit, like the so all right, so a girl from work decided to order Portillo's and get Portillo's delivered. We all decide what we're gonna get from Portillo's. Cool. Girl places the order and she lets everyone know that like it'll be $10 per person. This was after she used a coupon. I don't know if y'all ever had Portillo's before, but $10 for Portillo's is fucking cheap. Mind you, I got an Italian beef and I got fries. I offered to split my fries with old girl, and she said yes. Okay, old girl orders a kids meal of like chicken strips, and the meal comes with a drink, no fries. That's the reason why I split my fries with her. Because first of all, I don't want to eat all them goddamn fries, so I split my fries with her. So all of us end up paying $10 for Portillo's using the girl that ordered its coupon code. She ain't have to do that. She ain't have to use her 40% off code for us to pay $10 each for Portillo's. So, old girl, after the girl tells us that the total was $10 each, old girl says, well, my meal wasn't $10. Okay, my meal wasn't $10. My meal was only like $7. So can you like make it so that I only have to pay you $7? Like, bitch, be so fucking for real. And like I said in another one of my live streams, I could get it if we were at like a steakhouse. Two people ordered a salad, two people ordered a tomahawk steak, and now we're talking about, you know, two people paying $30, $30 for a goddamn salad, and then two people paying $30 for a goddamn tomahawk. I get that. Once you're paying $10, $15 overpriced, to take care of other people when you're splitting it evenly, I get that. But bitch, I split my fries with you. My fries, I think were probably $4. So does that mean that now I'm supposed to say, oh, well, you owe me $2? You owe me $2 because we're splitting our fries? Fuck no. Fuck no. Because me sharing the fries would have canceled out this $7 that she's bitching about. That would have put her at $9, $10 anyway. And so she had asked me about it and she had asked me what I thought about it. And I told her straight up, I said, you're cheap. I said, you're cheap. I said, $3 shouldn't be that serious to you. I said, it's not that serious. We're talking about $2, $3. Then she shows me a pair of Jordans she just bought. And I told her straight up, I said, oh, that because she was stressing that day. She's like, I'm on my phone trying to pay bills. She was stressing on her phone trying to pay bills. And then she's on her phone stressing about paying bills, complaining about $2, $3 that she's losing. Then simultaneously shows me a picture of some Jordans she ordered. And I called her out. I said, so that's why you're over here stressing over $3? I said, that must be why you stressing over your bills and why you broke. I told her that straight up. I told her that. She's like, I'm financially irresponsible. I said, ain't no financially responsible person stressing over $2, $3. I'm fucking sorry. I'm fucking sorry. Especially when you got a whole discount. Especially when you got a whole fucking discount. Be so serious. You got a discount and somebody is splitting their fries with you. Come on. Come the fuck on. Exactly. I said forget it. I said forget it. I'm not dating nobody. That situation alone, I think it turned me asexual. It turned me asexual. That situation alone did. I was super turned off. I was super turned off after she did that. I was like, oh hell no. Mm-mm. You're like, come on. Come on. $3. You over here bitching over $3. That's why I told her ass. I said, no, I can't. She's like, you get where I'm coming from. I said, hell no. She said, what I'm saying is making sense, right? Bitch, no. It makes no sense. You should not be stressing that much over a few funky ass dollars. Like, what? I'm sure I could go out in public and ask to bum $1. I could ask 10 people if I could bum $1 off of them, and I'm sure I'll get about $3 out of the 10 people. It's a fucking dollar. I'm sure if I walk long enough, I could find a few coins to total me up a couple dollars. I could look in the couch cushion and find that shit too. Like, come on, like, stop it. Because she asked me that thinking that I was going to agree with her. Bitch, you're cute, but you're stupid and you're broke. The cuteness ain't finna cancel out the fact that you broke, boo. So I don't even know why she thought she could ask me that shit thinking I was going to agree with her. No, bitch. That was crazy what you did. That was absolutely wild. Exactly. I said the same thing. I'm like, whatever money I lost, it'll just come back to me in another way. Who cares? Like, what the freak? Like, come on. Damn, there's a lot of people with travel groups. Yes, completely agreed. Folks who don't want to round up a couple dollars for a group meal situation, it feels a bit manipulative, user-ish. Is that mean? Hell no, that's not mean. I remember when I worked a job and we did the same thing, and there was a girl at the job that I worked with. She did the same shit. I shouldn't have to pay a few extra dollars for everybody else to eat. Okay, bitch, then go place your own order. And you're going to realize that you're going to be paying even more. Because now your meal is getting taxed. And I think you're paying for it to get delivered. So now you're going to realize that you're paying even more. Like, learn how to fucking negotiate. Learn how to fucking negotiate. The pie has to get split up. The pie has to get split up a certain way amongst people. Like, that's a part of negotiation. Come on, like, get over yourself. People are so crazy over a few dollars. Like I said before, I could see We're at a steakhouse. You're getting salads. People are getting tomahawk steaks. I get it. We're talking about $20 versus a range of maybe 60 to even $90. You know what I mean? You might get a salad for $30, up there close to $30. I get that. But come on, bitch. A few extra dollars, that's crazy. Yes. Money should be looked at in abundance. You like no, people want to take their little few dollars and hold on so tight to their dollars. No. If your hand is clenched to hold on to money, how are you going to open your hand up to receive money when you have it clenched, holding on so tightly to the money you do have? No. You got to have an open hand to receive money. She said it's giving four pentacles energy. That was a good one. This doctor just reappeared trying to invite me to his state based on our precious conversation. I want to charge him to talk to him. What's your suggestion? Okay, say if you want to see me, pay for everything. Pay for everything and take care of everything if you want to see me. Because he's inviting you to his state. So pay for everything and take me shopping while we're there. Make sure he put a down payment. Make sure you put a down payment. That's how you'll know if he's serious or not. Anytime a man is trying to invite you to travel and he's not paying for everything, don't waste your time. Don't waste your time. When guest speakers get invited to speak for a platform or a business or something like that, for the business pays for everything to fly that guest speaker out. Okay, you're going to be a guest. He's inviting you as a guest, which means he should be paying for everything. You're not going to invite me. I got to pay for a flight. I got to pack. I got to risk my life traveling. I got to risk my comfort depending on who I'm sitting with. And then I got to do it all over again and then fly back. You may have to take time off from work. Like, think of all the little inconveniences that you're having to do to go see this man. Don't ever let a nice conversation make you overlook inconveniences and not have that be compensated for. Because you flying is inconvenience for you. That's the reason why he wants you to fly to him. How can I fake it till I make it during job interviews? Any suggestions, ladies? By acting like the person that got the job already. Bye, Miriam. Act like you already have the job. Go in as if you already got the job. Start pretending that you're the person that has that job already. Do it every day. Do it every single day. Say every day, whatever the job position is, say that you work for that company and you work in that role, and start acting exactly like the person that works at that company and does that role. Do it every single day. And when you do it every single day, by the time you get to the job interview, it'll be easy. It won't even come off like you're pretending once you get to the job interview. Don't wait till you're at the job interview. That's what you don't want to do. If you wait till you're at the job interview, you're going to look crazy. Exactly. That's quantum leaping. I'm team quantum leaping. I'm not team manifestation. I mean, I guess technically manifestation is a form of quantum leaping. I'm team quantum leaping. You get things much quicker. You get things much, much, much quicker quantum leaping. Be the person, you're already the person that you're trying to be. It's okay. Rejection is protection. Always remember that. Rejection is protection. It's all good. It's all good. It wasn't unfortunate, it was protection. What you seek seeks you. So you'll be good. Yep, exactly. Then do what men do when they are getting to know us. Find out what they are looking for, then speak to it. Yep. That's exactly what you do. Whatever they are saying that they're looking for, speak to the strengths that would sell you as an asset to do that thing that they said that they're looking for. So they're saying, "Oh, we're looking to grow the metrics on our team." Okay, well, when I worked at XYZ, I grew our metrics by 36% in the first quarter. Bye. Thank you for joining the live stream. That's all you got to do. Just sell yourself with whatever it is that they're looking for. Oh, you're looking for that? That's not a problem. You're looking for someone to manage a team of 15 people? Well, when I worked for so and so, I actually managed a team of 35 people, and just start running off how effective the team was and things like that. That's how you do it. And just always pay attention to what the job description says. Like, I always like to study the job description listed on the posting before I go for the job interview, because that way that'll also kind of help you. And yes, of course, use Chat GPT. But the that, in addition to the job description that they have, you can copy that, put that in a Chat GPT, feed Chat GPT your resume, and then tell Chat GPT to generate like bullet points on how your resume fits the job duties that they're asking for. And then boom, that's what you say at the interview. See how easy that was? You finna get a job in no time, girl. Next time I'm on here, you're gonna write to me and be like, "Girl, I'm employed. They're paying me the most amount of money I've ever been offered, and they giving me 16 weeks of PTO." And if they ever ask you what your future goals are, say to work for the company. Don't ever tell them, "Oh, I'm going to go back to school," or, "Oh, I see myself being an entrepreneur." Whenever they ask you what your future plans are, say it's to be working for their company. Yeah, girl, you got it. You got it. All my girls over here are going to be pretty and paid. Pretty, paid, and smart. That's how I want the Siren sisters over here. Pretty, paid, smart. Cause you'll get anything in life with those three things. You'll get anything you want in life. All right, y'all. I'm gonna get off of here. Another wonderful live stream with you ladies, especially now that I have energy since I'm off for a week. So it was nice to spend my Monday morning with you all. Once I get to the point when I get rid of my 9 to 5, I would live stream in the morning. I like live streaming in the morning. It's a good way to kick off the day. But to the ladies in the chat, appreciate you. And to anyone that's watching this after I upload it, please like, subscribe, leave a comment in the chat, and I will see you all next time. Bye.